Hello, Girl Greatness. I'm Lori Pelzer, and I will be your host for the next 4 nights. Tonight is night 1, and we have planned the Girl Go Be Great team, and I have planned Girl It's Your Life Tour 2020 just for you. You've been on my mind. You've been on my heart. And I'm excited beyond words to be in this moment with you. It is our hope that we get you closer to your dreams. We are excited for what you're going to feel in this moment. This is going to be one of those moments when you say, "Ooh, ah," and you feel it. You feel it throughout your body. So welcome in, Girl Greatness. I'm Lori Pelzer. I am the creative founder of Girl It's Your Life Tour. I am the CEO of Girl Go Be Great Lifestyle Success Company. And for the last 8 years, I've been helping women, supporting women just like you to reach your dreams. It's really that simple, but it's truly that hard. Because if it was easy, everyone would be reaching dreams. So I want to congratulate you. I'm cheering for you in this moment because you showed up. I want to thank each and every one who played a part for this to happen just for you in this moment. So we got a lot of stuff planned. And I'm excited for you because you showed up for it. For the next 5 total days, counting today, we're getting ready to get insane amounts of transformational tools. And what transformation means, it takes you from one place of where you are currently to another place of where you can really be. Get you closer to your dreams. Now you're going to see a lot of different things over the next couple of days. So that's why it's important for you to take one day at a time. Bite-sized pieces, because you can't digest all of this that's going to happen in one sitting. You're going to have to really get focused about what it is and where it is you want to go. You're going to have to really say to yourself in this moment, I'm ready to get closer to my dreams. I know what it's like reaching for dreams. I've been a girl reaching for dreams a long time. And I reach them. And then when I reach one dream, I go for the next dream. I never stop reaching for dreams. Never stop reaching for dreams. And when you reach for a dream, guess what you do? You reach for a star. And then you reach for a galaxy. And then you reach out into the universe. And then you open yourself up to the heavens. And you receive a downpouring of everything that's available to you in this moment, in the now. So I want to call you into the now in this experience. This experience of the next couple of nights is going to be explosive. Tonight, we come to you very intimately, getting you started, getting you ready, getting you ramped up so you can get ready for what's to come. You're going to hear from some very powerful women. And I say powerful because she has beat the odds, right? She's transformed her life. And she was chosen by me in this moment. And she chose herself to come before you all across the U.S. Girl, you go be great. And Canada. And she said, not only do I want to share my story, I want to help women get closer to her dreams. I want to help her get vivid colors put back in her life. You're going to see a lot of color transformation over the next couple of nights. We're going to go from what you see tonight to something else tomorrow night and something else the next night. And then by time we get to the finale, Saturday and Sunday, you're going to see this whole big thing. So that's why I know greatness is a journey. Greatness is a journey. And it requires you to show up over and over and over again. One of my favorite books of all time, and I have several, okay, I'm a book junkie, but one of my favorite books is Chopping Wood and Carrying Water. That's your first resource for tonight. You're going to get so many resources. You're going to have to really be conscious and write them down. Or because you're with us tonight, that means you already got your ticket includes the replay. So you're going to want to listen to this over and over again because it's going to be that incredible. And I'm excited for you because, see, I'm a junkie for learning and I am an enthusiast of teaching, but I'm also an enthusiast of learning. Closer to my dreams. I was thinking about this. What did I want to give you in this moment? I want to give you your dream back. I want to give you your dream back. I want to hand it back to you right now. I want to thrust it into you right now. I want to cradle and hold you with it right now. I want to dance with you, girl, with it right now. Hey, I want to push it and push you up to get it right now. I want to hammer it back into you right now. Cutting wood, I want to cut that wood and carry that water. Carry your dream back to you. I want to give it back to you. I want to put it in a beautiful basket and put the bow on it with multiple colors, by the way. We're going to learn a lot about colors. We're going to learn what they really do for us as women. I can't wait to teach you in the moments that I'll be teaching on vivid color and the moments I'll be teaching on how to get off pause. The truth is, we're coming very differently to you than we normally come with the Girls You Like tour. We usually travel the country, 17 cities. My team and I have been on the journey for 2 years, and this year presented a different story. And I know, and I know, and I know, your life presented a different story. This is not the one you thought of. This is not the one you planned. I'm going to help you tap back into your imagination. That's my goal, to get you back closer to your dreams. My goal is to help you come off of pause. Trust yourself again like you've never trusted yourself before, to really learn what intuition really means. How to really raise your vibration. How to really understand what frequency you operating on. Because see, dreams cannot be realized without you learning something new. Because if it was that easy, and if it worked already with what you already know, it would be done. But you're here. So many women didn't make it here. You need to let her know she still can come. We're going to keep registration open all week long. You know why? Because when one woman is better, we're all better. We're a collective group of energies, a collective group of spirit, a collective group of dreams. And when one of us win, all of us win. All of us want the same exact thing. And I mean that when I say exact. We want to be happy. We want to be fulfilled. We want to travel. We want to have the clothes of our choice. We want, whether that's high heels like mine that I got on right now because I'm a short and I have to have my heels because it messes with my confidence if I don't have on my heels. But at 50, I've had to recognize and accept that they must be wedges to a certain degree. Every one of us, we want this thing called a dream. You're not separate from me, and I'm not separate from you, and none of us are. In this moment, you're going to feel each other through the airwaves. From here to Philadelphia, from here to Baltimore, Maryland, from here to Canada, from here throughout all the states in the U.S. you represent, South Carolina, Oklahoma, Texas. These are cities and states that I've seen represented. Alabama, Atlanta, Georgia. You have shown up. We're going to be shouting you out this week. We're going to be giving out some gifts. I'm a gift giver. I had Oprah Winfrey's book out. It was an old magazine, her old magazine. And I had the magazine out and I was looking at her favorite things, you know, her gifts, her favorite thing. And I had a girlfriend favorite theme party. And I'll never forget, it was super cold at night and we were freezing. But the idea was, we don't receive enough. We're big on giving. And I'm going to teach you in some of the sessions I'll be doing specifically on how to have a vibrational giving, attitude, and spirit, but to also have success in receiving. Down is in our success in receiving. So the steps, and these are just some that I plan to really dive in with you. You showed up in this moment because you wanted something. I want to ask you a question. What are you vibrating at right now? And here's what I want you to try to figure it all out, because I'm going to be teaching you this. But just think about the word vibration for a minute. Just think about it. We're all super smart. I know we are. So let's just think about it. If you don't really grab hold of it right now, tonight, when you lay down in your bed, it will make sense. What are you vibrating? Are you vibrating, I can't? Are you vibrating, I don't know? Skepticism, maybe? Are you vibrating just your logic, your left brain thinking? The brain is divided into various parts, as we know, and the functions of the brains are different, pieces of the brain. The question is, what are you vibrating? What are you vibrating? Now, the next question is, what is your life vibrating? Overall, what is your life vibrating? What is your life saying, receiving, doing, or actually having? What is the actualization? We're going to talk about actualization. What is your life vibrating? Isn't that a yummy question? The quality of the question yields the quantity of your answers. So if you don't ask the right questions, you don't get closer to your dream. You don't get off of pause, no matter if the pandemic is here or gone or stay. You don't get a chance to get what you want in this lifetime. Learn the power of now, the power of being present. I want for you, not from you, for you, right? I want for you to bring all of you to this experience. There are many different presenters, 15 to be exact. Then we have Dr. Jackie Walters. If you don't know her, you're going to learn more about her. For those of you who do know her, you know what you know, but you haven't heard what she's going to share with us at the Girls Your Life Tour. That's coming at the end of our 5 days. I want you to be consciously present for you. In this moment, bring all your fears, bring all your junk, bring all your stuff, bring all of you. And I mean nothing hidden, nothing to be ashamed about. I want you to get in this space, and I don't want you to leave like you leave every other thing, because all have been guilty of it, including me. Go, show up, but leave not so happy or not so filled. We don't want that in this moment. I didn't stay up nights and lose sleep. I could have been sleeping. I didn't give up things I wanted to do. This moment is sacred. Every single presenter, every partner that has said yes to this moment has a message for you. And I'm talking powerhouse messages. Each one of you may not resonate with everything they say. Absolutely not. That doesn't make sense anyway. But you in this moment has something to learn and lean forward with and lean into to learn from her. Okay, that's the deal. You won't turn off. You won't stay turned on. You're going to stay turned up. You will not turn off. You stay on and turned up. You're going to put color back in your life. Every single presenter that shows up in this moment, because they have something to deposit, something to give you. I wait to see at the end of this thing the type of transformation that has occurred in you. You're also going to receive a guide. We're excited about it because you're going to get your email. And for those of you who don't regularly check email, part of your success action work, check email. And if you got Gmail, you got to check all of them. You got to go in all of the boxes. 3 to 4 email accounts. And because I vibrate, remember the question? I vibrate at a high level, at a certain megahertz, and my frequency, at a certain megahertz, I can't help but check all my emails, every box, because I know something. I'm standing in the moment for a new dream to explode. See, I didn't just get here by osmosis. You're going to learn more about my story. And you're going to learn that the lady that's standing before you should have been a girl in jail. She could have been with 5 baby daddies. And I said it just like I meant it, Ebonic style. I have great diction. Go to college. He went to college for me, else in the family. Has multiple degrees. And I thank God for it because I knew that I wasn't going to do it. I went to a couple classes at the tech school and I said, my goodness, is this what I got to do? How many papers? Tests, but I'm good and I'm great at tests. I went a different route, a non-traditional route. I was 18 years old. Projects. All the good old projects. If you've never lived in the projects, you got to do that. You got to live in the projects at least for one day and see how you like it. Where the clothesline sits in your house, and I don't mean in the inconspicuous, where you put all of your underwear, holes and all, t-shirts and all, on one open space for all your neighbors to see. Can you imagine the suburbs having a clothesline in the front yard? I'm excited because in this moment, you're about to be blessed. In this moment, you're about to tap on this. In this moment, you're about to step into riches. And that's, I know. There's a book, Your Second Resources. Think and Rich. We're going to tap into that book. We have everything you need in the Girls Your Life Tour 2020. Like I said, you're going to see scenery change. You're going to see colors. You may see a clown come through here because that's how I like to do it. I am a girl who dreams big. I want you to get closer to your dreams. I want to thank you for being in this moment. I'm going to be introducing you to some fabulous people tonight. And tomorrow, you're going to be able to say, wow. You're going to be able to go, ah. And you're going to be able to really something unfolding for you. This is not just an event. This is an experience. And I'm hoping and praying that it delivers to you what my heart and my heart that put their heart in it. We all hope you receive this. Putting your life back in vivid color. And if you've never had color, receive color in this experience. I am excited for you. I'm here with you in this moment. We're together. We got a lot more to share. Lots of stories, lots of tools, lots of information from US and Canada just flowing. You're going to be great. I am going to be turning this moment over to you in a new, very special kind of way. Because, you know, most events like this, they're events. This is an experience. So when you go and you're sharing about this to girlfriends and people who are connected to you on social media, your community, I would love for you to do me a favor. This is truly a favor. I want you to hashtag GIYL 2020. And I want you to do your aha moments, your breakthrough moments. Like, what are you receiving in this moment? What's showing up for you? What is it that you got? If there's a moment just downpour, I want you to go out there and I want you to share that aloud. I want you to share your greatness aloud. That's how we all change. I want you to hashtag GIYL 2020 and share it. And don't forget, you can tag Lori Pelzer, LORIPELZER, or you can simply not tag me. It is okay. Whatever it takes for you to go out there and do your thing, I want you to share your breakthroughs and I want you to share your greatness out loud. This is your moment. Don't hold back. Don't even hold it. Don't even try doing that. Because in this moment, you have to show up, girl, to your greatness like never before. What's the other reason you ran home today? What's the other reason you're trying to cook and do this while you're trying to cook? You done quiet everybody down. Or you simply have turned off everything to be in this moment. You got through traffic. You got yourself just in the right posture for tonight. I welcome you into this experience. And welcome to Girl, It's Your Life Tour. And girl, you go be great. Now, I our guest tonight, our secret special guest, woman. Very quick story. I met this woman, powerful event. And we were in California, but I've met her prior to then. And she blessed me so. She gave me something I never received, right? Her look, her vibration, energy for women and girls. It was so real, it was so touchable, it was so passionate. Not only was she scholar-like, she was incredible in what she was called to do in the world. Not only her full-time profession, but her love for women and girls. I want to introduce you to Princess Bess, the hero, and I want to make sure that I give her the right that she deserves. In the world of women is that we actually own our greatness. And girl greatness, I'm gonna be honest with you. I know we don't do it. We don't do it enough. We don't own our greatness enough. And I want to say that this woman right here, she has owned her greatness in a way that I can. How can I say this? It impresses me in a big kind of way. And I want to read that I believe is important. And of course, I really thought I had this already, but it's all right. I want you to be so clear what we're about to do is worth it all. You have just operated in a way that is popular, put you in this position, and opportunity to show up. And the mama princess has this ability to transform lives. She heals. She drives a message of women and girls that I've never heard before. I want to introduce you to Princess Bess, the hip hop mama.
Hey, can you hear me? I just want to make sure. We good?
Yes, we hear you well.
Hey, girl, it's your life. I just wanted to make sure everybody can hear me. I can't tell one way or another, but so before I get started, I'm really excited to be here. So I just want to make sure that you all can hear me clearly. Thank you, Queen Lori, for having me. I'm so excited about being here. And one of the things that Lori drove home for me was about this event being about bringing color back and bringing color back, and through all of the transitions and this whole year and just who you are. And I love us. And so I just want to share an affirmation with you that is in song. And I always say you can heal a whole mind with just one dope rhyme. You can birth a new rhyme with just one dope line. So I'm going to share that with you all today. All right. So we're going to start off with some Queen B remixed, and move into something else, because we have to start off with that affirmation. I can't tell if y'all can hear me, but I would assume if y'all can't, then y'all would let me know. So I'm gonna keep going. All right. So as we bring color back, want you to know that you are already who you are supposed to be. And you have to say a mantra to yourself. So we're going to learn this mantra in song. So it goes like this. An affirmation is a celebration, manifesting what I want with determination. I got faith and willpower, yes, I will make it. I'm a boss, I'm a queen, lead of an organization. An affirmation is a celebration, manifesting what I want with determination. I got faith and willpower, yes, I will make it. I'm a boss, I'm a leader, queen of the station. She reigns, queen earth from birth, born to be a leader, a seeker, a teacher of infinite wisdom. Emerge the cannonball, yes, she'll crawl and fall and get back up again until she's standing in. Then catch her in the spot, rocking the mic, shedding some light, some lost in the night and lost in the spy. The chosen overseer of a plague nation, a matriarch of reparation is now needed. Conceive it, there's no superwoman here. My last soul has been strapped, so I'm here to unload the most code for decode and explode. And yes, I got bombs, but you'll never see me drop them. I got the matrix popping, trying to figure out how to stop them. Good God, it's the lady of Gotham, your personal messenger, a soul jet. Yes, her. An affirmation is a celebration, manifesting what I want with determination. I got faith and willpower. Yes, I will make it. I'm a boss. I'm a leader, queen of this nation. Nation is a celebration, manifesting what I want with determination. I got faith and willpower. Yes, I will make it. I'm a boss. I'm a leader, queen of this nation. Arise from the passions in the jungle, the human be bubble, the lioness, P-R-I-N-T-E-S-S, mighty python, not just a sing song. Hello to Queen Kong, doorbell, ding dong, voice of Harriet. Tried to bury it, still I rise. Maya Angelou's riding the chariot. 5 lanes open, don't stop for no one. Already the chosen, this journey's so done. We gifted a moment, better hone it and own it. Life ain't got no layaway plan, so jump on it. Your mind is fragile, be mindful of babble. Mind you, it's a hassle, might have to mind wrestle. Sing serenity, what's got an enemy? My confidence, I'm running a race against infinity. Be unique, don't compete, never have a plan B. I'm book spots with a B, share my sense with the street. 3 layers deep with an arm of inception. Ring the alarm, let me change your direction. An affirmation is a celebration, manifesting what I want with determination. I got faith and willpower, yes, I will make it. I'm a boss, I'm a leader, queen of this nation. Dang, just look at how bad I am. Comprising all the colors that you see in this land. Can morph my complexion from just standing in the sand. Ain't no female on this earth like these magic woman. Built the pyramids with no developed language. Healing sickness without using a bandage. You can't appropriate so outlandish. I'm melanin rich, dripping like it's bandage. Can birth every shade that's in the rainbow. Brown, yellow, red, even albino. Know where you come from, guess what I know. I'll be the source, mutations be disciples. An affirmation is a celebration, manifesting what I want with determination. I got faith and willpower, yes, I will make it. I'm a boss, I'm a leader, queen of this nation. An affirmation is a celebration, manifesting what I want with determination. I got faith and willpower, yes, I will make it. I'm a boss, I'm a leader, queen of this nation. Time to break the mold, I'm a hip-hop mama. Too young to call me old, but too old to cause drama. I'm seasoning my sexy, my daughter keeps me young. I'm twerking, doing squats just to firm up my bum. You youngins better keep up, my MO is a beast. Hitting them 50 curlers for my daughter breastfeeds. Don't sleep, rock her to sleep while I write with my rights. Purses in my purse, and my purse got baby wipes. Sacrifice, I birth life, which means I'm nice. Heavyweight MC, might mistake me for light. Resume is empty, so my verbs are never empty. My words got pimp repellent, so no fool could ever pimp me. An affirmation is a celebration, manifesting what I want with determination. I got faith and willpower, yes, I will make it. I'm a boss, I'm a leader, queen of this nation. I share y'all. I share that piece as an affirmation, as a lesson of the lyric to you, to know that no matter what it is that you've been through, no matter what it is that you've come through it so that you can share it. And so this next piece is called the womb print, because we need the foundation of where we come to go where we're going, and we to be able to say that affirmation to ourselves and to our people, knowing who we are. We have to talk about where we come from. So this is just sharing a piece of that. If they only knew about, if they talked about, if they weren't shamed about sacred wounds. If they only knew about, if they only talked about, if they weren't shamed about. This is for mothers. If I could talk to my unborn children, the first thing that I would ask is for my past, am I forgiven? And would they listen or be sworn that I avoided? Scared to death to be a single mom, like the norm, unsupported. I couldn't afford it, so I boarded that plane. Bought it for 300, get away, escape the pain. Memorex tape replaying, girl, you got ish to do. Your whole life will be rearranged, be about them kids and not about you. Don't forget the shame that you feel when you miss taking your pill, or you skip taking your pill, acting like you ain't know pregnancy's real still. If you'd have known about ovulation, high fertility, pregnancy only happens on certain days when the moon plays music. You thought you was just horny. Her speakers full fuse screaming, reproduce, homie. And it's lonely in the karmic thoughts of your decisions. If you knew then what you knew now, would you take a different position? I get to twitching sometimes when I hit a vacuum. Abortions, rape, molestation, so much trauma in this trapped womb, enough to consume your womb with diseases. They gon' send you to hospital soon like you was Jesus. If they only knew about, if they only talked about, if they weren't ashamed about their sacred wound, if they only knew about, if they only talked about, if they weren't ashamed about. Listen, if I could talk to all the taken children, erase all the separation that was created by CPS systems, and do deep incisions into the heart space of our sisters, and fill them with Tafiti till they grow what they are missing. Listen, her decision may not have been the one you chose. Why she have them babies but can't take care of them though? Then send them off to school with dirty clothes smelling like mold. Her teachers presume her mom's a lazy ratchet hoe. No compassion though. Sisters addicted to drugs and alcohol don't want to get involved. Quick to make that CFSA call, like foster care say, where some of our girls get raped. The cost might be much less if we invest in mom's mind state, but since that outcome's slow, we just do what we know. Put a band-aid on the problem we know eventually grows, and where you think it grows, our mental health unfolds. Our trauma dismissed as anger, we are misdiagnosed. If they only knew about, if they only talked about, if they weren't ashamed about this sacred wound, if they only knew about, if they only talked about, if they weren't ashamed about. Listen, if I could talk to the neglected children and tell all their mothers how important it is to emotionally listen. Don't take full position as though survival is your mission, cause in your busyness so many things you could be missing. Don't be dismissive like what they going through is small. What's annoying to you might mean the world to them and all. Sometimes you let girls fall, sometimes you pick them up. Be present or else they might think that you don't give up. And that's why some girls cut. Sit your ass down and shut up. Depressed and stressed mothers ain't got time to give hugs. If they struggle with self-love, then it's hard to pass it on. Disconnected from our womb, this hole here is really strong. I'm not here to say you're wrong, that you're not a good mom, but we must heal our wounds, create mother-daughter bonds. Our anatomy's the roadmap, got keys to this legend. Can't navigate it clearly without nurture and protection. That's when motherhood gets hijacked with fear-based projections. Daughters in airplane mode, waiting on connection. Waiting on connection. Waiting on connection. Heal the girl within means healing our wounds. Heal the girl within means watch what we consume. Heal the girl within means let go of shame. Heal the girl within means know the root of your name. Heal the girl within means releasing the pain. Heal the girl within means releasing the shame. Heal the girl within means releasing the pain. Heal the girl within means releasing the shame. If they only knew about, if they only talked about, if they weren't ashamed about their sacred wound. If they only knew about, if they only talked about, if they weren't ashamed about their sacred wound. I shall. Namaste. Thank you.
Wow. Woo. Whoa. Ah, I see that you actually, you don't know how to just come in the room, stay calm, do you? Tell me your new title. And is it pronounced healist? The healist?
Oh, the
Healist?
Helicist, yeah. So you said tell you about the new
Yes.
title. I'm having a hard time hearing you, so I'm just
Yes.
turning it up a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, the Helicist. Can you hear me now?
I hear you
Are you
well.
able to hear me?
I hear you well.
Okay, cool. Okay, I just want to make sure. Yeah, so the title, The Helicist, really came from really talking a little bit more about the work that is being done. And it's a combination, it's a play on words. It's healing lyricist. So every rap that I write is written with the hand of the ancestors, the creator, to heal. So healing lyricist, meaning that every rap I write is used to heal myself and then shared to heal others that can take from it. And it's also because of dealing with women and girls, it's about healing sisters. So heal assist
Right.
and heal assist.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So when we think self-aware, self-care, and self-actualization, that a spiritual conversation. That's my final question.
Yeah. So when you so yes, absolutely. It's spirit, it's I say it's PMS. It's physical, mental, and spiritual. In order to have that foundation, that actualization, and that awareness, you gotta try in all levels. That's what that's about.
I want to tell you, has increased. It's more powerful than it's ever been, and it's always been powerful. We at Girls Your Life Tour want to thank you for showing up in this moment with us. That was incredible, and it left us all something to hold on to. I appreciate you, Princess Bess. I appreciate you. You keep doing the word. You keep healing the land because that's what you do. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Bless, bless.
Mwah. Good night. Woo! So, our next presenter, I'm getting a little bit of report, so I want to just share this with you because one of the things we pride ourselves on at Girl Go Be Great Lifestyle Success Company is excellence and greatness. So we have a tech team that's far away. We have tech team in the room with me, and we have you. So what I'm going to need for you to do, to help us do, is to number one, be conscious that if we could fix the stream, if it's buffering or lagging, I promise you, we would jump in there and we will slap that stream back. We would find any code that works. We have reached out to our technology people. We have sent them a request. We have the highest paid plan. Why do you say those things, Lori? Because I'm a very, very authentic leader of women. I believe it's important when a breakdown is happening, you don't run from a breakdown. You stand toe to toe, you embrace the breakdown so that you are able to figure out how to navigate it. So some of you are not able to, from my report, the Facebook stream. Well, we found out that we're being told that the Facebook stream is a Facebook issue because millions of people are on Facebook. However, you are a paid attendee, so you have YouTube. And if YouTube doesn't continue to work like we want it to, we're going to shift again. But what we want you to believe tonight is it will shift, send your collective energy into the stream, into the universe. If whatever we send out vibrationally, we receive back. And that doesn't come from me. That comes from a universal law, a principle. And that principle still stands. I want to just let you know we are aware and we're working on with the tech team that's far away, quote, with the tech team that's in the room to get you streaming without a glitch. Because you know I don't want to be streaming with no glitches. I got too much to say. I want to introduce you to a powerful woman, Andrea, because she gets me every time when I mess up her name. It's Andrea Merriman. I remember meeting this incredible woman, and I can remember her giving me an opportunity to be a part of her balance journey, speaking to her group, and I was blessed. I didn't know her story the way I know it today at that time, but it changed my life. I want to introduce you to Andrea Merriman. Come on up. Audrey, you come on up to the stage. This is your space right here, and I want you to let everybody see that beauty on you. Hey, and guess what? I'm just going to do the bump with you real quick. Hey. Hey. How you feeling? I get so excited. Hey, oh, look at you. Oh, we don't want that to catch you. Oh, look look at you.
I'm just attracting all kind of stuff, flowers and everything.
And your girls is looking at you like, Mama, what you got going on? What's up with the makeup? Give it color. What is it?
Had to add some color.
Oh, look at those lips.
Had to add some color.
Look at those lips.
Color.
Look at those lips. We talked about those lips. A lot of women have confidence issues in some place or another, right?
Right.
And you don't have a problem putting you in a hot seat, right?
I know.
So yours just happen to be your lips, right?
I know.
So you struggled when you got your makeup done today for your lips purposes.
I did.
But if you was looking for another husband, you could get him with lipstick. Perfect color too.
But people look at my mouth and be like,
they get memorized by your beauty of your lips.
They do.
Why do you think that is?
I don't have a clue. So I quit wearing makeup.
Okay.
Quit wearing lipstick.
Okay.
No color.
So that means we got to figure out this, right? Because you do big work.
Have to. So that's why I added color. I usually have a black dress with no color. You look at anything I have, it's all simple, no color. So I've been going through this and I've been thinking, okay, how you living? And so I thought about it, Lord. How you living? Do you have any color? And I looked and I thought everything is white, black. I got color, but I got some plum, some chocolate. But
dark.
I would make websites and books and stuff have color, but I like the color that I put in other things.
Oh, that right there is a teaching for another day. You like the color you put in other things, but you could no longer avoid the color you had to put in
Myself.
because you got welcome to the girls your life to a state.
Thank you, appreciate it. And that's a great segue into what I want to talk to you guys about. Because as she just kind of summed up where I am, I wasn't always here. And I was not always available in my mind, in my self-care, in my space to have that conversation. So what I want to talk to you about, how you can put the color back in your life, but first I need you to understand the power behind that color and the power behind yourself and what you can do. So as I've been working through this and working through some things for the last 5-6 years, and I'm going to explain a little bit more about that, but I want you to understand this year, 2020 vision, everybody started out with all this stuff, but my 2020 didn't start like everybody else's. My 2020 started in the unemployment line because I was told that I was too overpowering, that I was too, I gave my opinion too much, and I made people nervous when I spoke. And so for that reason, I was let go of a job. And I thought, okay, you're lost because I know who I am. See, that's the thing. I had done some work and I knew who I was and I felt good about that. That just meant that I had more time to do things like this. But what happened was, as I was going through this, because I had to do some rebuilding with myself, so I was reading one day and I was reading this book, they call it a good book. And some of you may know this verse, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. It said, I was reading, and you know how we do? We go to Psalms. Yep, that's the good book. We go to Psalms and we go, oh, I'm feeling bad and I'm going to read. And I'm looking and it says, although I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil. And something kind of tingled in me. I said, fear no evil. Valley of death. And I'm looking at this book and I go, I know what it feels like to walk through the valley of death. And my mind just started, I could see it as if it was yesterday. It was a cool September night. It's about 9:30 at night. It was on a Saturday. My kids were over, grandkids were over, and something felt a little weird. You know, you ever had that feeling that something just isn't right? Well, that's how I was feeling, and I was walking through my house. I can see it just like it was yesterday. I was walking through my house and I'm looking at where the kids are, my grandkids over. I'm telling them to sit down. I walk in my kitchen and my daughter Jennifer, well, Jennifer at that time was 17, although she stood about 5'11". So I'm looking up at her. She's making some top ramen noodles and I'm going, not my thing. And she's smiling at me. And the thing about Jennifer, when she smiles at you, those big, beautiful brown eyes just look like a little doe looking at you. And she just smiles with her lips and her face. And it just lights up the room. So I'm sitting there, we're joking about this nasty noodles. And she's just a stirring. And so I was like, we talk about it. And then the boyfriend, who's packing to leave because it's time for him to go, he's like laughing at us. He always thought we were still together, which we were. And so I'm walking through, and I leave her rooms. That wasn't what I was feeling. I walked through, told everybody to sit down. So I go back in my bedroom and I sit down. And I'm sitting there. Something still don't feel right. I'm getting ready to look at TV, but something told me not to turn the volume up. So I'm looking at the TV, and I hear this loud noise. And then I hear glass just shattering. And I'm going, what have them kids done now? I just told them to quit jumping on the bed. And then I hear it again and again. Screams. And I hear ear-piercing screams, not the screams of joy, but the screams that let you know that something detrimental had just happened. And then I realized the loud noise I was hearing were gunshots in my home, in my safe haven, in the space that I wanted to lay my head down at night. So I'm getting up, mama mode now. I'm finna go see what's happening. I kind of had an idea, but I'm trying to see what's happening. I'm in mama mode and I'm on my way out and I'm getting ready to go. And I'm walking down the hall and it seems like the hallway is getting longer and I'm walking and I get 2 steps. And the noise in my head, as I see my son-in-law run past me, tells me to stop. If you go any further, there'll be no one left to tell the story. I knew what it was. It was my guardian angel telling me that. But who wants to listen to that when their family's in trouble? So I'm like, okay, so he's telling me if I go down there, I'm going to make it matter. He's going to kill everybody. And God's got me. And he's going to, I fear no evil. So I back up. And I go to sit down on my bed. And I said, what I need to do? So I call 911. And they're like, I need you to stay on the phone. I'm like, no, I got more things to do. I done told you the address. That's all I can do for you. So when I'm allowed out of my room, I'm going out. And I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? And so the thing is, my older daughter, who was married to an abusive husband, left him, filled out a restraining order, which took his power away from what he was doing to her. So what that meant was he was angry and he wanted to retaliate. And he was doing it that night in my home. So I walk in there and I'm looking for his wife, couldn't find her. I'm like, okay, she must be with her sister. So I go into Jennifer's room, the one I just smiled with, laughed with. The bowl of top ramen noodles was sitting on her table. She was laying suspine on the floor. Those beautiful brown eyes that I just saw sparkle when she laughed were wide open, not moving. The strangest thing happened, as if other things were not really strange. The strangest thing happened when I stood there in the door. I heard, there's a leak in this old building, and my soul has got to move. And I do. And all I could do was pray. So I asked God, what can I do. Because what I wanted to do, Lord, and beg God and pray that she get up. He said, go get your oils. And I went and got my frankincense and the oils he told me. And I came back and I prayed and I anointed her. And all the time I'm trying to comfort her boyfriend, asking, can you take care of her? I've done all I can do. It's up to God. There's more people in there. I've got to go take care of my grandkids and see what else is going on. So I did that. And things happened. The ambulance came, the police came, and they told me that the 5 shots that went to Jennifer had taken her life. And so that moment changed the trajectory of my whole life. We did find out later where his wife was. We found her, so she was still there. And he did, at the end of the night, he ended up dead himself. But things happened so fast. I had to before we knew what was going on, I had to deal with domestic violence. People don't want to talk about it. That's something you think you see on TV, that, oh, it don't happen to me. Oh, those poor people. Oh, why didn't she just leave? And all those questions, I asked them too. But what I found as I was dealing with all of this and having to plan a funeral, because see, now I'm out of my home for almost half a year. I'm trying to figure out where to live. I'm still trying to get my other kids to school. I'm still trying to get therapy, planning all the things that moms do. And I'm starting to hear things like, Jennifer, who was 17, had created Facebook groups to kids where she had talked 150 out of committing suicide and told them to go and work with their parents. She had helped kids in school who didn't have friends and showed them how to talk and friend people. And so she was just, all these things I started hearing. Then I started hearing statistics of domestic violence. 1 out of 4 women will experience domestic violence in their life. 1 out of 6 men will experience domestic. Who won't, what? I thought it was only on TV. But what really got me was 2 out of 3 female homicides are done by a family member or spouse. That what goes on in my home stays in my home, and somebody has to speak up, and somebody has to be the voice for that person that can't speak. And so what I started hearing was things like, I started reading and looking at some of the people that had grown and some of the people that have moved past those spaces in their life, like Oprah Winfrey and Sheryl Sandberg and Nanette Whitney, that's my mom, and my favorite, my Maryland girls, because they're astronomical if you watch some of the things they do. But what everybody understood was, although domestic violence is not an anger issue, it's a power and control. But what these ladies understood was, if you own your power, you own your life. What does that mean? Well, do I have power? Yes, you do. Some of you are sitting out there and you're like, should I leave him because I don't know where I'm going to eat tomorrow if I do? Trust me, there's an advocate somewhere willing to help you. And so what I want you to understand is, owning your power means you own where you live, you own the issues you have, you own the pain you've been through, you own your victimization, you own your striving, you own your surviving, and you own that to your next. For the next 5 days, I hear people tell you that it's okay to feel what you feel, and if you don't like what you're feeling. When you own your power, you can stand in the pain that you've been through. You can stand and understand that you've been a victim. Don't tell people that I'm not a victim. You can first realize that you were a victim so you know where you're moving from. That don't mean you need to stay there and live in it, but it means you need to know your starting point. That means you're starting to be mindful of who you are. So I'm going to give you a couple of things that I want you to do, and then you can contact me after this. So some of you business women, and I'm talking to you now, the servant leaders. Advocates, ministers, servant leaders that are out there that are determined to destroy the normalcy of domestic violence. Because see, that's my mission. Because people are thinking it's normal. I want to disrupt the normalcy of domestic violence so we can come up with a plan to eradicate it. And we're all going to have to work together. And I know people are saying, well, men are abused too. And I understand that. But that's who God called me to do. It's the girl that need a little more color in her life. The leaders of us women. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way to help, but it needs to be strategic. It needs to be a collaborative effort. So I want you to do a couple of things. One, if you're willing to disrupt the normalcy of domestic violence and you're willing to be one of those leaders, I need you to start thinking. Right now, I want you to stop. And I want you to visualize what it would look like if your friend, your mother, your sister were not in the pain of their present or their past relationships. What would that look like? What joy could you have? What great moments you could have. You have to spend so much time healing from the pain that others put upon us. And I want you to think about it. If this is you and you understand that you're ready to help disrupt this normalcy, I want you to do a couple things. Write down what your mission is and how you want to do it. You may want to be a court advocate. You may want to be an advocate that goes to the hospital. You may want to be an exit strategist. You may be that person who wants to collect groups and put them together and have support groups. So when you decide what that is, I need you to say, do I have a way to make that happen? Because you need to have a way to make it happen. So what I want you to do is to think about that. Now, if you have a way to make it happen, go ahead and put it in the chat room. I know how to stop domestic violence, and I'm on this, Andrea. So go ahead, do you have a way? Now, if you do, I want to give you something to add to what you're doing. If you don't, I want you to listen carefully. So there's a couple things that I had to decide for myself because I'm standing before you telling this story, but I'm telling you that it was a long road. I had to stop. Jennifer was murdered in 2014. 2015, I was like, okay, I'm doing this thing. 2016, I met Laura and I found out I wasn't doing it quite the way I needed to be doing it. And I had to take a year off, hire a transformation coach, work with Laura, dig deep down into some things. You thought what she was talking about, my color today was bad. You don't even know. But anyway, that's another, I digress. But what I want you to understand is I had to make a decision. My decision was to become a pro. And so what do I mean by that? If you know how pearls are made from an irritant. The mollusk gets an irritant, and because of that irritant, it spins a nacre around it. Something around it that when it's finished, it comes out beautiful and illuminating, and we spend lots of money for it. So I had to decide, what did I want to do? Did I want to build a brick wall up in front of me and stay, oh, my daughter died? Or did I want to make change and make sure that there's ways that mothers don't have to do that? So what I did was I decided to be a pearl. And back on my thoughts of this to stay on track when you're dealing with the feeling through the pain of what's happened to you. And so, one, you need to learn how to plan. Plan the things that you want to happen. Two, you need to know how to empower yourself with all the information that you need. Three, you need to activate plans and work on it. Four, you need to learn how to review what you have, see if it's working and don't. You learn how to be a leader, and then you got to be ready for that shift. And so what I want to offer you today, realize what you're doing and what I call an advocate intensive. What that is I have a personal intent assessment, an advocate assessment. I put those together. We talk between 60 and 90 minutes. We come together and then we map out a plan for you to be the best advocate you be. So tonight, that intensive is normally $500. But for tonight and this week only, it's $225. You can go to my website, go to where it says shop, see Advocate Intensive, and pay the bill. If you want to just do a down payment, I tell you to do one of them, and that's go in there, send me, let me know, and someone in my team will give you a call. What I want to do is to disrupt the normal of domestic violence, and I know that I need leaders like you. I need leaders who understand that it's to make a change. Change isn't coming, it's here. And if you want to be a part of it, reach out, let's have a conversation.
No mask. You have your COVID test, right? I have mine. I know you're right, because I'm straight. So we're not going to do none past COVID. So I'm around you, and I want you right there in our beautiful space. There you go. You right there in the camera. Look all the way in the camera, too.
Camera.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. So congratulations on sharing such a very... I do this every time, don't I? I was this when you bought me the keynote.
Mm-hmm.
I do this because I can remember mother didn't die. Pieces of her died. Pieces of her died. So many of us may not be receiving a punch in the eye or a wound like the gun wounded us and killed us, but pieces of us die. We give our power away. You said something very powerful. We can own our victimization. Let's dive in. In this moment, COVID, I believe, the pandemic of 2020, the racial unrest, Black Lives Matter, the idea that we have a woman right now having a conversation about Roe versus Wade. Everyone wants to touch the rights of the woman. We're celebrating at the Girls Your Life Tour the evolution of the woman. Because what century? 17, 18, 19th century. We could do nothing. We could not have a dream. Your daughter lost hers. So my question, why would we choose to own victimization versus owning our power? When we've had this evolution, today, the 21st century woman, we can do anything we want. I've seen women drive trucks. I remember seeing the first woman drive a truck, and it blew my mind. She was beside me, and you know how you do the I want there. And I kept doing it. She looked at me like, yes, yes, I see you. The first time, it was many, many years ago. Then I remember seeing the first surgeon that I worked with as a nurse. And then I remember seeing the first colonel when I was in the military, woman. And how we do what we do. I don't believe we're victims. I believe that slowly things have taken our power, which leave us in a station like right now, many women who have literally purchased a seat. See, you're in Lori Pell's world, and I don't play in this world. How are you not here? What is that you have going on? Unless there is a life and death, a tragedy, and something you could absolutely not avoid. But for the most part, we use the smallest things. Your daughter lost not just a dream, she lost her life, and you lost something dear. You pick back up because you're not a victim woman. Look at it. You speak the language of domestic violence. So how do we move? How do we live there, and how do we move from there to what you said, owning your power? And thank you, Canada. You put it out there just like owning your life. How do we go from there to there?
So the reason I say you need the first
here, and I'm going to shift back over. This is wonderful, wonderful.
So the reason I say own your victimization is because I see women come in and they don't want to change because they say
Mm.
I give as much as I get. I argue with him. He hit me, I hit him back. They don't understand that a lot of that is because of retaliation. But if you understand that that circumstances made you a victim of his pain and his anger, that you're retaliating from that is not normal. The fighting and the arguing is not normal. Don't stay in it, but understand that the pain is it. Now we move past it.
Or stay there. So we're going to learn over the next couple of nights a concept called pain body. When our bodies become adjusted to the pain. Eckhart Tolle teaches some concepts around pain body. I've studied it, and for every woman that's with us tonight, we've all had something that our bodies have received, right? And it's been transmuted into our cells, and in those cells lie the pain. That makes sense? So that's when you say not normal, it's time for us to even break that word down even more, the root causes.
Right.
Okay, pain body. Would you say the body becomes
the pain body?
Okay.
So once you do that, and once you realize it, it's like a book I read, and it says, feelings buried alive never die.
Oh, that's a good one. Make sure you get that to us. Share with everyone that book again.
Feelings buried alive never die. And she goes into the concept of when you are hurt or your feelings are hurt, and by women, we often push it down and don't deal with it and say, oh, I'm okay.
Which we were taught.
Mm-hmm. But that pain doesn't die, although we buried it.
Yes.
It manifests into shoulders hurting.
Yes.
Our knees hurting.
Disease.
From disease.
Which are concepts we must begin to learn. And these are not concepts we grew up learning.
No.
Okay, we grew up, don't tell your business.
Under my house, stay where?
In my house.
But we got to get it where? Out of the house.
Out of the house.
Because it's not only hurting the house, but it's hurting you.
And that's what we get to, the whole community. We as women, we are a whole community. You see, every time I come in your presence, I heard your story.
I feel that pain.
Our body, the same pain. You're a courageous woman. Why is domestic violence so important for her to do? She wants to truly be an advocate.
Because some people are not able to speak for themselves. Mm-hmm. More women need to understand that there's someone out there to just listen and to move past that. So if someone is wanting to be like, one of my big campaigns in 2021 is to get groups in churches, communities, not just in the domestic violence shelter.
So stay there. Here's the big issue. Read you one or two chats, but they're rated in a different way. They are throwing the white cloth, or yellow. Y'all be great, girl. And they're celebrating you in this moment for your courage, but they're also standing with you in this moment. No one loves the woman enough anymore. Don't give a hoot hand what we got going on.
True.
Let's just speak about that. Are we telling another story of what's not true, or is this looks like a true depiction? Because I don't remember anybody chase as a woman business owner and saying, "Here's your check, your PPP." I could go there. I can go to a number of places.
Right.
So why would they care about us in the area of becoming victim? Do you think it takes for them to believe the institution, not the person?
Right.
Right? Because it's an institution.
Right.
So the church even struggles with the whole idea of domestic violence. They sit women back right in that space.
Right. And I've had so many women who said they stayed, and even talk about me and my brother stayed because he was a pastor, and his pastor told him he needed to make his marriage work.
Okay.
Women say the pastor told them, what did you do? We're victim blaming. We're blaming the woman.
We're shamed a long time. You know, we've been called witches.
Right.
Right. Burn on the stake at the Spanish position. This is new. Just a new name being exposed. So then it goes into our next generation, our girls. So our girls become victims. Okay. So we got a real problem here, right?
We do.
So if girl, it's your life. What do we do, Andre? Do we become advocates? Our final question, do we become advocates? Do all of us become advocates? Do we take your program or not? But we need your program because you've been doing this work how long?
6 years now.
Okay. And you've seen it quite a bit in 6 years, more like 20 years of work?
Yes, and I've talked to 1,000 teens. You talk about teens. And what I learned, I want to put a chastity belt on mine and lock her in a...
Oh, wow. Oh, that's
a whole nother. I'm not going there. I'm just telling you where we're headed.
That's where we had that conversation today. We had an opportunity to chat about
so that's where we're headed. So even if you're just a leader, and I use that term, take it out just, you're a leader who don't feel like advocating is for you, we need you to do this.
Just stay there. So if you need to know more, I want you to get in touch with
Andrea.
I knew the name. I was just messing with her. You know this.
I need to help her out sometime, y'all.
She do, and we got a story. That's a story about our journey. Because she's a left brainer, but she doesn't open up that brain. She's working on both cylinders. I see it. I'm so happy for you. I'm cheering for you. I want you to contact her, Andrea. I want you to contact Andrea. I want you to contact Andrea. I told her I'll put a French name on it. Here's a contact. Jesus, when you were talking, when you were sharing. Thank you, Andrea, for sharing. Lisa Banks, guilty of this. Lisa, you need to connect. Lisa Banks, guilty of this. Lulu, secrets kill. Silence is deadly. Feelings buried, never dies. She quoted you. I have a story to tell. Definitely someone you need to contact. Lisa, contact Lisa. And we love the church. We need the church. We just want to have a different dialogue. Right. Stephanie Austin, no evil. And the comments just keep flowing in. Trinity Transformations. What a metaphor. And they keep on in. Wow. Yes, own it. Gabby Maimon. LaQuinta Blackman, own it. Own it. And then Cynthia Doe, Jesus. Cryfacer. Thank you all for engaging. Your information is available to everyone. You have need to advocate. I always knew my mother needed an advocate. And in this moment, I embody her. Victimization does not belong to me, not go that direction. But I can remember when the first man and the last man hits on me. It doesn't have to be a man. It could be a woman. Mm-hmm. Any, but for sure, I know what it felt like. Activated me to go be great. But a lot of women, it puts her in stop mode. So we need you on the front lines, right? This is a pandemic.
Yes.
911 call.
This pandemic was going to be showed up.
And COVID
worse.
Okay. Thank you. I would love to stay here for us just to stay in this because I can remember also the stories this year. Young women who were in college and so forth killed just in Georgia alone by domestic partners, boyfriends, young women with future. This is not to be played with. We are at truly a crossroads. Thank you so much for being with me. I want to keep you. Can I keep you? I can go home with you too?
We'll talk after. We got work to do. More people. This is only day one. Day one. Can you imagine what it's going to be like at the end of 5?
Yeah, because we get ready to change sets and all kinds of stuff. Okay. Thank you so much.
All right. Bye, ladies.
We're going to keep this party moving. What's so exciting about being in a virtual experience is that not only are we in a room, but we're across the U.S. and Canada in many rooms. Thank you so much for the comments. And I say thank you because it creates activity. Activity creates action. And with action, energy flows. And where abundance grows. Lori Pell. I want you to continue to be with us. We are headed up, and I mean up. Our next U.S. presenter, Allison Garrett. When I say for jailbreak, get ready for jailbreak. Welcome in, Allison Garrett.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Lori. I am really excited. And when you say, girl, it's your life, I automatically get excited about that. But it wasn't always so exciting. It was almost like, girl, it's your life. So I want you to close your eyes for a moment. And I want you to imagine yourself in a really bad situation. Now, for some of us, we don't have to think that hard or that far back because this last 7 or 8 months has been a really bad situation. So I want you to think of it. Think of it right now. And I want you to imagine yourself in captivity. Handcuffed, shackled, bound, gagged, tied up, and thrown into a cage. Think about that. What would you do to escape? Like really imagine, what would you do to escape? When I do my private workshops and I have women in a room and I ask them this question, they always seem to have answers. They're like, oh, Allison, I would chew through the duct tape and I would scream for my life. I'd fall down on the floor and kick myself over to the cage. I'd break my wrist and slide it out through the handcuffs. I'd slide through the cage in some way. So they come up with all kinds of ideas. So there's this idea that when you find yourself in a really bad situation, you'll do whatever it takes to escape, right? But the reality is, when you feel hopeless, you give up and you accept the situation just the way it is. How many of you have found yourself in a very hopeless seeming situation and you just decided to accept it just the way it is? Just comment in the chat. Think about what that's like. And you really thought that you'd be able to escape because that's what we do. But if it were that simple, we wouldn't see so many people that have been in bondage. And you see stories of people over the years that are in captivity. And when they have an opportunity to escape, they don't because they've accepted the situation just the way it is. So I had a period in my life where I was feeling very hopeless, probably the most hopeless I have ever felt in my entire life. I walked into a courtroom and I had to see a judge. And this judge declared me a habitual offender, gave me a 7-year prison sentence, and gave me no opportunity to get my affairs in order. So I had small kids at school that were going to come home and get off the bus, and I was not going to be home. So I became inmate OL8 397 with the Pennsylvania State Department of Corrections. I was led away, handcuffed and shackled, seemingly bound, gagged, and tied up, but I was thrown into a cage. And during that time, I had the opportunity to really reflect on my entire life, where I had been, what I had done. But I knew one thing. while I was waiting in that cell, I knew that the pain of where I was greater than any fear of where I had to go to get there. So I vowed that I would never have anyone or anything take my freedom away, be able to dictate how I would live and serve my life. And I had to take control. So I vowed at that moment immediately, I'll go through this, whatever it takes. And when I get on the other side, when I become free again, I made a firm commitment to help everyone, everywhere I went. And that's why I'm here today. So I want you to know that the process of change, when you say, girl, it's your life, in order for you to really embrace that, you have to be committed. You have to be committed to the process of change. And it's not going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it. I met so many women who wanted to change, and then I realized that it was more than the physical prison. While I was in physical handcuffs and behind bars, I realized I had been in a mental prison long before I had ever gotten arrested. So I know some of you are probably like, oh, Allison, that's great. You know, you turned your life around after prison. I've never been to prison. And yeah, maybe you've never walked into a physical prison, but I want you to think. Remember that hopeless situation? Where have you been imprisoned in your mind? You know, what is it that is holding you back from where it is that you want to be, for you to be able to have the life of your dreams? What is it? We've all experienced so many things over our lifetime and even more recently. But what is it that will spark that process of change? So I want you to know that you're in the right place at the right time. You're among so many women that are going to share, that have already shared, that are pouring into your process. And I know you've been to the conferences, you've read the books, you've had a word prayed over your life, but what makes this different? What makes this different is the timing. I posted something on my Facebook recently, and I was referring to the pandemic. And I asked a group of ladies, what have you learned during this period of time? And what will you do with what you learned? And I was pretty surprised when most of the responses really just spoke to what it was that they learned. But not many people moved into what will you do with what you learned. So tonight you have a choice. Over the next 5 days, you have a choice. You have to choose, what will you do with what you learn? So if you don't take anything from this, I could probably predict where you're going to be, over the next year or even sooner than a year. You're going to still be sick and tired of being sick and tired. You will show up at that job that gives you knots in your stomach. You will continue to be in that relationship that doesn't serve you well. You will continue to have those dreams of owning a business, writing a book, anything that you could imagine. It's not going away. But if you don't make a choice now, you will find yourself in the same place, having the same goals, writing the same New Year's resolutions over and over again. So I don't have that much time tonight, but during my period of incarceration, I created a system. It's called the Prison Break Success System. And it is 5 things that every successful woman must learn and must know to go from where you are, move beyond your past, and create an extraordinary life. Up until this point, I had lived a very ordinary life, which is really considered unexceptional according to the dictionary. But when you live how you were created to be extraordinary, instead of how your past situations have programmed you to be ordinary, you will get your life. So I don't have that much time. I have a few moments to share. I can't give you everything, but I can give you enough. Some of you are going to get exactly what you need when I share these 5 things, which is amazing. Some of you are going to want to go a little bit deeper, and I'll show you how to get there a little bit later. So if you're jotting things down, I want you to think about number 1. The first thing that you need to do and know is you have to know who you are. Now, most of us assume we know who we are because if we're introducing ourselves, we have a name, we have an affiliation, we have a title like I'm Allison, I'm a mom of 2, I have a granddaughter, I'm a wife, I'm a business owner. Like, so we have wrapped our whole identity up in the external. But there's more to your identity than just what's on the outside and what people see, and how society has shown that our external identity takes us farther. But I'm here to tell you that that's not the truth. When you know who you are and you know deep down all of the things about your character, that I am intelligent, I am a great listener, I'm a good friend, I am fun-loving, I love excellence. When you think about the things about you, the character of you, those are the things that we have not gotten to touch. So I encourage you, the first thing you need to do is know who you are. You have to dig deep. Write a list. Write a list of all of the qualities, not the external, but the things inside you, the things that matter, your core values, the things that don't change. Because guess what? When we identify with the external, if I say I am a wife and I get divorced, my world crumbles. But if I know that deep down the type of woman I am able to pull through it and move forward. Does that make sense? So you got to know who you are. The second thing that you have to do is you have to know what that means. So there's more to identity and knowing who you are, but you have to connect it to what that means. And I know as a woman, and I know from all of the challenges that I have had in my past, what it meant to me just continued to get diminished. Life just happened on top of situation and circumstance. So I kind of forgot what it meant to be who I was. I forgot about those goals and dreams. I forgot about those passions. I forgot about the things that were my strengths and also being able to identify my weaknesses. I had no purpose. So once you know who you are, you got to tap in and you have to know what that means. Connect the two. The third thing that you have to know is you have to actually accept where you've been. And I know Andrea said this a little bit before me, but you have to accept where you've been. And that's probably one of the hardest out of all of the steps in the Prison Break success system. Is when you accept where you've been, that means that you share your story, which changes the people who hear it. And then you have the ability to make impact and make a difference in the world. Accepting where you've been is weaving the healing into all of the things in your past and recognizing that they all had a purpose, no matter how sucky it may have been. To accept that means you share little by little. I'm at the point now where I can walk into a room and it doesn't matter who's in there. I am sharing my past. But there was a time where I was ashamed and didn't want people to know where I had been. But when I tell you, when you make a commitment to accept where you've been, every door is open. And it helps forge your path along the way. So you got to know who you are. You have to know what that means. You have to accept where you've been. And then guess what? You got to know where you're going. Now, I tend to work a little bit backwards. I'm a visionary, so I start with the end of how I see it. And then I move into the direction of what I need to do. But it wasn't always that way. So if you're just starting out and you're trying to figure this thing out and you want to get your life, because you know it's yours. You have to know where you're going. That would be like if I called you on the phone and I said, hey, Lori, I have $1 million for you. I'm at home, but I'm not going to tell you where I live. I'm not going to give you an address. You can't call anyone for directions. You'll just get the money when you show up. Oh, and by the way, you only have 24 hours to do it. How successful do you think you'll be? Probably not that successful at all. So you need to map out where it is you're going. So many times we have forgotten what we even want. The top thing that women always tell me when I ask them, what is it you want? They say, I want to be happy. But they don't even know what that looks like. The power to fulfill anything lies within the power to define it. So in order to know where you're going, you have to be able to define what that looks like. It'll start out imaginary. You can say, oh, I just imagine myself waking up at noon because I'm not a morning person. I smell breakfast cooking. There's some handsome man cooking it for me. That candle is burning that I love. The windows are open. There's a breeze blowing. Like literally, you got to know where you're going. You might not know exactly how you're going to get there, but you got to know. So you got to know who you are, know what that means, accept where you've been, know where you're going. And then you have to know how to get there. And how you do that? Things like this. You connect. You connect with other people. You make connections with people who are in an area or maybe even have some level of success of somewhere that you want to go. I consider myself an expert. And pretty much the only thing that really defines an expert is someone who has been through some things and have overcome them. And of course, we don't have that much time to know everything I've been through. But I'm very transparent and understanding that you cannot do it by yourself. You have to find someone as a mentor. You have to invest in yourself, which is amazing because you've invested in yourself to be here today. And that's a start. You have to find out who can you connect with to get you to where you want to go. So when you think of that and you put all those things together and you are really committed, you make a choice, you show up, and organically you will begin to see step by step. There's this saying that there's just enough light for the step I'm on. You don't have to have it all figured out now. I didn't. I was at my lowest point. And when I was released from prison, there were 218 professions in my state that I could not participate in to earn a real living, to make a livable wage. So I had to create it. So instead of saying, oh, woe is me, no one will give me a chance, I have to check the box on the application, I made it happen. I went under my bathroom sink and I found a little bucket and all of the things that I could do a manicure or a pedicure with because I had that training. And I called my friends on the phone and I said, hey, if you can get a few girlfriends together, I will come to your house and I will do manicures and pedicures, just for a little bit. At that point, I didn't want a whole lot. I just wanted to maintain my conditions and earn some money without having someone to tell me no. So I did that. And over time, it grew into an official business, which is now Pamper Perfect Mobile Spa. It operates in 11 cities in the US, and we provide special events for groups and corporations. So there are places where I have contracts that I couldn't even get a job. So when you think about the places that you've got to stop making excuses, you have to start believing. You have to start tapping into your passion because that's where the money is. Money's everywhere, but it's not about that. When you tap in and you solve a problem, you get paid. So I know that I told you earlier that I would share with you if you wanted to go a little bit deeper. I know I gave you some nuggets tonight and you may have just enough, but if you want to go a little bit deeper, I actually have you can actually take a free assessment. All you have to do is text Prison Break to 5544. Text the word Prison Break to 5544, and you'll get connected to the free assessment. And if you want to go deeper, I have an intimate, it's only 6 people that are invited to do an intimate group coaching session. It's all virtual. And I have a special code for you. If you use GIYL for Girl It's Your Life on my website, prisonbreakcoach.com, you'll get a special savings. And I reward people for making decisions right away. So that code does not last long. So visit my website and just be encouraged. Lori has said it before, stay engaged, stay present. There's a lot of things happening in this present moment, but you just really have to be ready to get your life because it's your life. Oh, I'm sorry. It's 55444. There's 3 4s. Oh, I'm sorry. It's 55444. There's 3 4s.
So what we're working on right now is bringing us together for some of you who really have some very powerful questions you may want to ask. And we have our team on the chat with you. And we bring Allison in. She's with us. We just working on getting her connected with her sound. Allison, I see you very well. You're moving. Can you hear me very well?
Yes, I can hear you very well.
Okay, great. Wonderful. Let's just do a verbal Q&A, right? Till we can get us on the screen together.
Absolutely.
Okay, awesome. I'm in awe of a concept that I heard you speak. I absolutely believe 400% in. And you say I reward. It was at the very end. I reward those who. Let's put some more context to that. I believe we become numb. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I heard you say it so if we become numb, do we even understand the concept of reward? What does reward even mean to us anymore? It means something to a 10-year-old because I got a 10-year-old granddaughter, a girl, and she wants her rewards. Brings her papers home. It's for the reward, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
When do receiving, expecting rewards, and have become so numb to the whole idea of what you're saying? What happened there? Because you're talking about break, so let's break her. Let's break her out of prison.
Yes. So break her out of prison. We stopped believing in the reward when that one person didn't give us what we wanted, or we had that disappointment that took us way down. So you then stop expecting, right? So you want something, you desire something, you may even have asked for it, and then it doesn't happen. So then you stop asking, you don't look for it, and then you fail to even recognize it. You know, if we have a early bird special or a sale first thing in the morning, all of those things, it's like, okay, we don't really, we stop believing.
Okay. So that is one of the root causes. So there is a concept, perfect place to jump with it. There is a concept, girls, your life to a girl greatness. I'm cheering still here, you're rocking it out. And that is on to a jail. There's nothing like jail. I've been close to jail. I've been close a lot of times because I visit many family members in it.
Yes.
In it. So I know what it feels like other and the feeling I would get, Allison, the type of tightness I would get.
Yes.
In wondering, is this going to be me next, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we become numb. Here's now the root cause. So we become numb because we live an ordinary life. Life becomes sedentary, ordinary.
Yes.
No more spices, okay? I don't do spices. You hear women say it all the time. I don't do hot stuff.
Yes.
Well, like Nelly say, it's getting hot in here. Come on, take off your clothes. I am getting my clothes off. I know that song.
Yes.
I like taking my clothes off. I know that song. I actually did something, I painted my body in front of thousands upon thousands of people. So if you want to see my breasts, that's not what the point was. But if you want to see a woman bare come outside of her own prison of being be accepted, approved.
Yes.
And that's how you do it. You go naked before on your Facebook. And your husband go on your Facebook. He says, I came up with breast day, and I need you to do something with it. I'm ready. I broke out. I have there is nothing to hide. So we condition to hide. Would that be the root cause? Condition to hide. How do we get positioned through conditioning to hide, which leads us in these places? Ultimately, yours was mine was different. All of us. So what conditioning do you believe happened for us? What was that conditioning like?
Yeah, all of us have some sort of conditioning mental. And it's typically because we have accepted what everyone else says about us, and we have not yet realized what it is that we want for ourselves. So if you, and it starts very young, it starts even as a teenager. I learned a story about an elephant. So when you look at an elephant that's in a circus, you're wondering, how is it so obedient? Well, when it's a baby, it's tied to a thick rope and a heavy chain and a big tree every single night. And it continues to tug and tug and tug. And then it eventually gives up because it doesn't realize its present abilities. So that's how we are as people. We've been beaten up and told so many negative things. And once we get started, we now begin to expect it. Like, there's so many women that I'll meet and talk to, and they'll get a new job and they feel like this is the greatest thing. And the first thing that they say is, well, nobody likes me. So because that has been an experience at some point, you carry that with you. So I think one of the main conditioning things is we carry with us all of those negative experiences, and we make a decision that we don't want to feel that anymore. So we eventually just do what it would take so we don't come up against that resistance. We're not that elephant who can knock down that tree or blow that house over, because we've been conditioned that we can't, even though we can.
There it is. I don't care how many times, I don't care. You can do it, girl. Go be great. Go, girl. We don't believe it. We don't feel it ourselves. And that's the work.
No.
That's the reconditioning ourselves. Question, and you have the answer. You're the woman. You're her.
Yes.
I often have been challenged with this. The challenge is when I see women, feel women connect with women, love with women, as many women with us tonight, us together collectively, hear me. We jump and slide back into our so very,
Yep.
as you
Easily.
said, when confronted with something, let's just say a breakdown, like tonight, there's a stream
Yes.
slowing down. We're back here troubleshooting. We've already
Yes.
contacted the right people. Will be too much.
Yes.
Here's the problem. If I was that, for me, I would keep fighting. But many girls I know would have retreated,
It's too
gave up
much.
tonight.
Mhm.
Many too much. There you go. So when it's too much, we just go and create our own jails, don't we?
Yes, you create those mental prisons and they just get
Our own
stronger
jails
and
are
stronger.
created.
Yep. You give up because the
So it's,
pain,
so it's
and I mean the pain of saying the same isn't the reality. It's the fear of doing something differently.
okay, there it is. Because it's a strange paradox. I'm just going to ask,
Mhm.
is it the whole resistance of what's possible, really what's really new? You want the high magazines, but can you really analyze it and feel and hold it? So the prison break could be a desire for the goal and action and all of the other very powerful concepts you gave. Would feeling go in that list? Because I wrote that question down for you. Would feeling go on the list
Absolutely.
of prison break to break?
Yes. The feeling it's
Okay, feeling it.
it's almost how we act as though something is already in place. So when you move, you can't really attract anything or create anything in your life until you actually feel it. So an exercise that I use with people is, let's just say you have a great day, right? Sales, I mean, my business is sales. So I have a great day. I have a client call me on the phone. She
Sales.
finds me on the website, no hesitation, tells me what she wants. She gives me all that information. And then as soon as I tell it to her, she's like, okay, that's what I want. How much is it? How can I pay you? I'm ready. Can I pay in full? Right? So when I had that experience, I feel a certain kind of way. I feel excited. I'm like, wow, this is real. So I embrace that feeling and I have to hold on to it in that moment and tell myself, I want more experiences like this. But when we are in prison, when something like that happens to us, we start to doubt it. This is too good to be true. This person is, maybe it's not real. Like I'm going to show up and it's going to be really hard. Or I can't find anyone to work it. Like you talk yourself out of it when it's already presented itself to you. So feeling is a major part of moving out of that prison and into the path that you were created to live.
So this is exactly why we got to do this work. All of us together tonight to feel. Keller felt her way to success. She had no eyesight. Stevie Wonder feels his way to success.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He had no sight. And the most beautiful wives, I was trying to figure that one out. That's a real strange one. I don't want to discourage anything. I don't want to discourage. I want to encourage, but I want to eat me, Allison.
Mm-hmm.
We're each in a jail until we decide that we're not.
Yes.
I don't know your jail.
Mm-hmm.
Allison shared hers.
Mm-hmm.
I know mine.
Mm-hmm.
I know mine. She knows hers.
Yes.
And until you're willing to, I don't care how many vision boards you do. I'm actually anti-vision. You're going to be like, oh my God, what did this woman just say? I am. You know why? Because you didn't feel it first. You copied and pasted.
Mm-hmm.
People teach vision boards from that place. Allison going to teach. When you break something, guess what happens? It's severed. So who wants to break tonight? Girl, it's your life is here to do the work. Pack Allison. If I need a break, I would be contacting Allison. If I was inside of me, which I do this work all while we're working together, she would be my girl.
Mhm.
She's over there with hands and an orange jumpsuit. I like that, by the way. You gonna plan to take those off, right?
Oh no, this thing comes off. I'm not going to bed with it. I'm gonna be naked like
Because you know when you
I'm free. I'm free. This
gotta
is
do it.
coming off. I'm taking this thing off.
Because when you embody your work, for each of us that will break free, when you embody your work, you can't go to bed with it on. You have to. You'll break a husband from you. You'll break children from you. You'll break away from a bad job, a bad friend. You will break if you want to live. And this I
Yes.
know. Allison, thank you so much. I could sit here with you all night because the message you bring to the world is so powerful. Your information is on the screen. You have any final 30-second something you would like to share that you would need right now? Okay, got it. It's on the screen. So for 5, 4, 4, 4, 3, 4.
Yes.
Okay.
3 4s. Yeah. Thank you.
So right now we're gonna. Okay, you got it. Thank you for being with us. We are. Tell your family we appreciate them allowing you to be in this moment. We look forward to doing more with you. Have a great night.
Absolutely. Appreciate you. Thank you so much.
So we are moving along. Tonight was the night. Tonight was that night where we get adjusted and we get into the conversation. As we continue to move upward and each night is more intense, the messages become more, and I'm excited because I'll be getting a chance to teach you night. You want to be here tonight. You want to be here tomorrow night. You don't want to miss any night. You set a new agreement yourself and dismantle old agreements. And as we make ourselves over. Our next presenter, she's a homegirl. Every one of us got a homegirl. I want you to disassociate and disidentify those diseases that cause you to stay the same. The sameness will be your definition. It's something to be said and I have actually spoke at a funeral, bought in to speak at a funeral. I was thinking about creating that, and I won't talk about it very long. But you remember the movie, The Wedding Planner, Heart. And I was invited to speak at a family member's funeral because no one else was able to. And he had dignitaries, and he had a lot of incredible people, mentors, helped along the way through music. He had a PhD in music, the piano, like Beethoven. And the issue was gay. And the other was he lived a life that many say, I don't like. There was a suspicion around his death, and there was someone arrested. But what does that have to do with the way a person lived if they lived in vivid color? And that's all I remembered of my cousin, Michael. So I was called into the funeral to teach. We get a chance to learn at everything. Everything counts. So I want you to write down tonight. You may not understand where it fits, but it counts. It counts. Learn that concept. Everything counts. I took a goal class, goals, and I taught me that everything counts. And this guy people all across the world about setting goals. And I was there at that funeral, and Someone beyond what you think their story is, because he lived in vivid color. Can we all say we live in vivid color? Can we say we're willing to live full out? And not in that space right now. You need a makeover. We're going to do some more work. You've probably gotten all kind of words that I've dropped that you haven't react to your current life, or how they resemble, or how you can assemble. I teach a lot of my clients words. A girl gonna be great. We work with women entrepreneurs, and we work with women who are looking to take her personal life beyond where she's gone. We work with women entrepreneurs in business, places in her business that she's never before. That may look different for each of us. It should. We're talking about more of what those offerings are over the next 12 nights. I want to bring in a woman that my homegirl from my hometown, who's doing great work, who have been looking to do this thing for a minute. Tasha Nicole, welcome to the Girls Your Life Tour. I want to introduce you to the makeover coach. Get ready, because this woman, she don't just bring fire. She's in a place that you're ready to make over.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, Lori, for the amazing introduction. So listen, I need y'all to get your ink pens, your pencils, your tablets, whatever you need to take your notes today. I need you to get it, because we are going to dive in and we are going to get into this right here, because it is going to be amazing. I am so excited, honestly, about being a part of this amazing tour. So listen, we're going to dive in. Again, I am your makeover coach, Tasha Nicole, where I promote makeovers from the inside out. I really love to be able to really encourage women to know how important it is to be as beautiful on the inside as you are on the outside. That is so important, to deal with who you are on the inside as well as who you are on the outside. We spend so much time getting our outward exterior together, but we forget about to work on our inside, and to work on our integrity, and to work on our character and beautifying who we are on the inside. So, okay, we're going to jump in. Do you guys got your pens and paper? Because we're going to go in. We're going to really dive in. We're going to get this together. So I need y'all to make sure, that you have your pens and paper. So what we're going to do is we're going to focus on the one thing that we can control. And I call them I factors. Y'all got that? I factors. With I factors, we have to deal with us. We have to deal with ourselves. So when we focus on ourselves, we are able to make sure that we have everything together, make sure that we do everything that we're supposed to do. We're able to make sure that we help everybody else, because you can't help anybody else if you are not able to help yourself. So we need to focus on the one thing that we can control, and that is ourselves. We're going to dive into the I factors. I factor number 1, love and respect you. Again, we can't love anyone else if we have not taken the time to love and respect ourselves. We can't love anybody else. You can only love you for you. Nobody else can love you better than you. Nobody else can do that. Nobody else can love you better than you, or nobody else can love you for you. That's something that I actually got into before. I saw a situation where there was someone who wanted me to love them for them. And I had to realize I can't do that. There's a lot of responsibility to tell someone else that you want them to love you for you. Nobody can do that for you. Nobody can love you for you. Absolutely nobody can do that. So I factor number one is to love and respect you. Love and respect you. I factor number two. Find your why. What is it that you like to do? What is it that you love to do? What is it that sparks your fire? My pastor always said, what is that one thing that irritates you? And I do hair, I do makeup, I do all of that. And that's one of the reasons why I deem myself or coined myself the makeover coach. If you sit behind someone and you're irritated by the fact that their hair is out of place, if you're irritated by the fact that something isn't right and you want to fix it and you don't mind fixing it for somebody, then that's what you need to do. That's something that is a passion for you, is to be able to fix that issue for someone. And I always say that if there is a problem that you have with something, then instead of just saying what your problem is or what your issue is, find a way to fix it. So at the end of the day, find your why, find what your passion is, find what it is that you are passionate about. Find what it is that you love to do in helping others, because a lot of times when you're helping others, you are fulfilling yourself. You are fulfilling something within yourself. You are fulfilling your happiness. You're making yourself happy. One thing that I know for me is I love to do transformations. I love transformation. I love the before and after. So with me loving the before and after, I love doing makeovers for people. I love to see people look different and feel different about themselves. So when they sit in my chair, sometimes we don't understand. Again, with my profession, I encounter a lot of people. And so we don't understand. A lot of times we become counselors in a sense because of my profession. But when people sit in my chair, that's an opportunity for me to really encourage and uplift them and to help them, to feel better about themselves. Because I know when I get done with my work, they're going to be the bomb. They're going to be beautiful, right? But I want them to feel good on the inside. I want them to feel just as good as about themselves on the inside as they do on the outside. So that's my why. I love the transformation. I love they come in and they might feel down, but then when they leave, they feel amazing. They feel good about themselves and they look good and they feel so much better when they leave my presence. And that is my why. My why is because I love to help other people. I love to make other people feel good about themselves. The third I factor is to find a mentor, life coach, or a counselor. That is so important. So I understand that when we are in our situations, I know a lot of times a lot of our cultural backgrounds and most people, they always say what goes on in my house stays in my house. And a lot of times that makes us or puts us in a situation where we don't reach out for help. You never want to be in the situation where you don't reach out for help. And I need you to also understand that there is a difference between a mentor, a life coach, and a counselor. A mentor is somebody who can definitely motivate you, push you forward, and what it is that you want to do, and helping you to better know yourself, and more or less just being that example for you. That's what a mentor does. They help you learn certain things. They pour you and they allow you to be in a situation where you can be greater. They help you in a situation where you can actually be able to move forward, right? Because they're showing you the way. As far as you having a life coach is a cheerleader, a motivator, an accountability partner. And I always tell people, if I want more for you than you want for yourself, then I'm not your coach, because I can't want more for you. than you want for yourself. So having a life coach is actually having somebody that is going to push you. We're not going to deal with their past situations, but we're going to propel you from where you are and push you to your next, to push you into your destiny, to push you into your purpose, to push you into your why. Because once you figure out your why, then you need somebody to push you. You need somebody to hold you accountable. You need somebody that's going to say, listen, girl, now these are the tasks that we have in place, and this is the homework that you have to do, and this is what I'm expecting from you the next time we speak. I'm no excuses. I always tell people that you can have a pity party, but we're not going to have an after party after the pity party. We're going to clean up and we're going to keep going. That song says, it's my party and I cry if I want to. Okay, you cry if you want to. Make sure that you get all out, because after this party is over, we're going to clean up. We're going to wash everything down. We're going to wash the dishes. We're going to put all this stuff up, and we're going to move on forward, because there's no after parties after this pity party. So when you are getting your life coach, you need to make sure that it's going to be somebody that is going to stick on you like glue, that it's going to be somebody that's not going to let you find any excuses to not do what it is that you need to do. Because listen, I hold people accountable because you have to be held accountable, right? And then to have a counselor. A counselor is someone who allows you to dig into your past, to find your things that are the things that are your irritants, or those things that have become your I keep wanting to say targets, but things that have become your irritants, again, for you to act a certain way, or things that make you do what it is. Find out why I do what it is that I do, right? You have to have a counselor. And to be honest with you, to have a counselor and a life coach is awesome, because you need both in your life. You need somebody to help you find out why it is that I do what I do. I can speak for myself. I'm gonna use myself as an example, right? So as for me, I had a situation where I always felt like I had to defend myself. I always felt like I had to speak up for myself. I always felt like I had to be in defense of me. And I brought that into adulthood, and I never understood why I was like that. I didn't understand until later on that the reason why I was like that was because I had gone through things as a child. Again, we bring things into our adulthood that we have dealt with as children. So I felt like I had to defend myself because things happened to me, and I felt as though my parents didn't defend me the way they should. Or I felt like certain things were allowed to happen to me and nobody defended me. So even as a child, I felt like I had to defend myself. I had to stand up for myself, because if nobody else had me, Otashe had me. So I had to make sure that I had to deal with that, because I brought that into my adulthood. And yes, I believe in standing up for myself, but there is a time and a place for everything. There's a time and a place for everything. And so I had to realize as an adult what my what my triggers are. That was a trigger for me. A trigger is me finding, that what made me go off, what made me tick, what made me explode. And that was one of the things that was a trigger for me. If I felt like I was backed up in a corner, I was coming out fighting, or at least I was tearing you up wide and down with the other with my words, because I had to defend myself. Find a counselor. Find someone that can help you figure out what your triggers are, or why you do what it is that you do. It is important to be mentally sound. And that takes us unto our fourth I factor. To focus on your mental, physical, and spiritual health. To focus on your mental, physical, and spiritual health. It is so important that you have a sound mind. It is extremely important that you have a sound mind. When you have a sound mind, you're able to operate freely. You're able to operate clearly. Habakkuk 2:2 speaks about writing the vision and making it plain. You have to be able to do that with a clear mind. You have to be able to do that with a clear heart, a clear conscience. And you cannot do that if your mind isn't clear. It said, the word says, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Make sure everything has to do with your thoughts, because you control your thoughts. You control what you allow in your circle. You control everything about what goes on up here. You can allow yourself to say, I'm going to wake up today and be happy, or you can allow yourself to say, I'm going to wake up today and I'm going to have an attitude for the rest of the day, and I'm going to affect everybody else because I have an attitude, right? You have to work on your physical. One of the things that I went through when I was going through my time of, my trials and tribulations was I actually lost weight. Most times people find they end up eating and they gain weight, but I lost weight. I was a size 8. And the crazy thing, I had never been a size 8. Even in junior high school, I was probably like a size 12, even in junior high school. But I lost weight, and I found that as an opportunity to work out and to make it a situation where it wasn't just me losing weight, but it became a situation where I knew I needed to be physically healthy. I needed to be physically fit. I needed to get myself in order because I needed to be mentally sound and I needed to be physically sound. But most of all, to top everything, I had to be spiritually sound. To find that spirituality, to sit and focus and sit and read and sit and get what it is that you need spiritually is very, very important, because that goes back to character. Character has to do with who you are when you are by yourself. Integrity. Who you are when you're by yourself. Who are you? Who are you spiritually when you are by yourself? Who are you? So you need to make sure, again, number 4 is to focus on your mental, your physical, and your spiritual health. It is so important. So very, very important, ladies. I need you guys to get that. It is very, very important. Number 5, be at peace with you. There is nothing more important than when you make a decision and you know that I'm sound in my decision. My no is my no and my yes is my yes. You have to be stable on that. No wavering, no straddling the fence. There's no gray area. There is my yes and my no. And that's it. Be at peace with you. Learn who you are and be at peace with who you are. Now, the crazy thing about this pandemic is that it allowed us to be able to focus on this one thing that we were able to control, and that was us, right? That's me. To be able to focus on me. That's the one thing about this pandemic that has been actually a glorious thing for me, because I've gotten to see the good, the bad, and the ugly. But the reality of that is, when you are at peace with you, that's because you have literally taken the time to look in the mirror and see who you are and say, do I really like what I see? Am I able to wake up and be okay with who I am? And that allows you to be able to fix those things that you see in the mirror, so that you can be at peace with you and affirm yourself daily. Affirmations are something that, I've even created my own affirmations, which I will share with you later, but they are important. The life and death is in the power of the tongue. This is what the word says. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. Okay, I'm going to say that one more time. Life and death are in the power of the tongue. What you speak is what you get. What you sow into your life is what you're going to reap. What you give out is what you're going to take in. Sowing and reaping is principle. What goes up must come down. Everything is about principle. When you're dealing with what you speak into your life, you have to be able to affirm yourself daily. Every single day, you have to affirm yourself. Whether you have the same affirmation every day, or whether you have a scripture, or whether you find some quote from somebody, make sure that you affirm yourself every single day. Because again, you control your thoughts. You control what goes on around you. You control your atmosphere. And I implore you, I challenge you, as a matter of fact, I charge you to take the time to write an affirmation every single day, or to write it and put it on your a sticky note on your mirror, put it at your desk, put it in your car, have it somewhere that you can speak it every single day. One of my affirmations is that I'm a favorite billionaire, and I've been saying that for years. And when I tell you, everything that you speak is you're going to find a challenge in that area. One thing that I was challenged most in is my finances, because I always speak that I'm a favorite billionaire, but God is showing me, and he has told me how to operate in certain things concerning my finances, how to save, how to be able to gain more wealth. And so those things are very important, that whatever you speak out of your mouth, whatever a man thinketh, so is he. So whatever I think about myself, that's what I am. And so therefore I am a favorite billionaire. I dare you to type it in the comments that I am a favorite billionaire. I dare you to do it. But I'm telling you, at the end of the day, you have to affirm yourself daily. That's number 5. Number 6, y'all. Number 6. That is a hard one, because when you forgive, the one thing that you need to do when you forgive is to forgive yourself first. And that's, I am a favored billionaire. I'm a favored, FAVOR, favored billionaire, favored billionaire. When you look at forgiveness for yourself is important. You also have to be able to forgive others, because you can't be forgiven unless you forgive. And I know for some people that is very, very hard, because when things are done to you and you go through certain things, it's hard to forgive certain people for what they've done to you. If they've hurt you, if they've done anything to you, it's hard sometimes to forgive them, right? So you forgive them and you move on, but then they come back and they do something else. And then you got to forgive them again. And then you got to forgive them again. And then you forgive them again. Oh, I've been tested with this recently. And then you got to forgive them again. I'm just telling you, forgiveness is not for them. It's for you. Wow. That is something that is in itself powerful, because it's not for them. Forgiveness is for you, so that you can wipe your hands clean and say, I did my job. I did what it was that I was supposed to do. And I truly, genuinely forgive you. Forgiveness does not mean reconciliation. Forgiveness means that when I speak, or when I see you, I can speak and I genuinely say, hey, how are you doing? I can genuinely pray for you. I can genuinely say that I want the best for you. I can genuinely say that I want love. I want for you to be happy. That's what forgiveness does. It frees you from the responsibility of being bound to what they did to you. Wow. I'm going to say that one more time. Forgiveness frees you from the responsibility of being bound to what someone did to you. I'm going to say it one more time because they say that third time is a charm. Forgiveness frees you from the responsibility of being bound to what they did to you. Sis, free yourself. Be free. Be free in who you are. Be free in everything, because again, you also can forgive them and freeing yourself from what they did to you, but you have to also forgive yourself and free yourself from what you've done to yourself, your mistakes that you've made, anything that you have, any down or failures, anything that you have failed. Anything is only a failure if you don't go back and try again. When you don't go back and try again, that is considered a failure. But things are not considered failures, they're considered lessons. Learn from whatever it is that you need to learn from, pick up the pieces and keep moving from there. So I just want to recap really quickly with you guys. Your I factors, because we are focusing on the one thing that we can control. And I'm going to add this in here. If you can picture a circle around me, right? Inside that circle, I can control my thoughts. I can control what I do. I can control my words. I can control all of that inside of this circle. I can control all of that, but I cannot control anything outside of that circle. I can control nothing outside of that circle because nothing outside of that circle belongs to me, but everything inside of this circle belongs to me. And that's what I can control. So we're going to go through the I factors one more time so that you can get them and that you can write them down and you can use them, right? Number one is to love and respect you. Nobody can love you better than you. And it's not fair to hold anybody responsible for loving you more than you love yourself. Number two, find your why, find your passion, find out what it is that you love to do and help someone in the area in which you have that passion in. Number three, find a mentor, life coach, or counselor, because you have to be well-rounded. I told some ladies a couple of days ago, when we say that we want to secure the bag, everybody just thinks about securing the bag as being money. You're not securing the bag as just being money. We want to secure the bag. We want to secure the holistic bag. We want to be at peace. We want to be mentally sound, physically fit, spiritually sound, and we want to secure the money bag as well. So we want to secure all the bags, not just the money bag. We don't want to have money and not have mental peace. We don't want to have money and be reckless with our spirituality. We want to secure all bags. So make sure that you find your focus on your mental health, your spiritual health, your physical health. Number five, be at peace with you and affirm yourself daily. Be at peace with you, affirm yourself daily. And finally, number six, forgive. Forgive you and forgive others. I wrote a book about all of this in January of the top of this year. And January was a very important month for me because that's my birthday. And I chose to release the book on the day of my birthday, which is January the 14th. And it took me a year and a half to write this book because there were so many things that I was going through. I was going through a divorce. I had just come out of being homeless. I was dealing with things financially. It was so many different things that I was dealing with. And it took so much out of me to write this book because I wanted to make sure that when I wrote this book called Silent No More, that I was not writing from a place of bitterness, that I was not writing from a place of unforgiveness, that I was not writing from a place where I was still angry. So I wanted to make sure that when I put this book out, that I was in a place where I could be at least sound in some of the areas, right? And I'm saying this because all of these I factors I created, but I created them for myself. And when I created them, I put them in the book because I felt that it was important for me to share them with other individuals because people need strategy. They need strategy. And so I wanted to make sure that I gave that to whoever picked up the book, whether they're male or female. And then I realized that I went through so many different things that I had to feel like other people. And I wanted to share, I wish I knew, that I wish that I knew. And so I did another book called The Makeover Woman's Anthology. But I'm going to wrap up right now. And I'm just going to leave you guys with this. Again, focus on the one thing, control. Focus on you. Focus on nobody else but you. Again, I am your makeover, Tasha Nicole. And I need you guys to focus on the I factors and you can control. And that is you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me tonight. And I hope that you guys got something out of what it was that I said. And I pray that you guys can use the things that I've given you. Lauren, you look good, girl.
Coach, make over from the inside out. That's all that looks. That was that country twang. That's all it is. Because you took time away because it was juicy and so good. You didn't leave say other than I do have one. I'm just kidding. You look fabulous. You look amazing. And thank you. Because I know you're your own big event and experience. I know it will be. And your makeover conference next couple of days, right? I mean, the next 2 weeks?
Yes, on the 30th and the 31st of this month.
All right. I'm excited for you. In the age of rapid change, we're in a rapid age. As we prepared as partners to speak about each individual conversation to change women's lives, they were out there in the chat. I love bring makeover. I love how you bring the real, the I, the reality, and that's what feels touchable. Thank you for that. I have a question. Do you believe consciousness on this whole thing? So let me break that down. In my understanding of the concept of unconscious, conscious creates a situation. Unconscious us, right? But the conscious us mutes change. So do you believe become more conscious and all what consciousness means that we truly can do this thing you were teaching tonight? Make over. Make us over. Make us over. Over has to be a shift in my mind, in my work, understanding it from unconscious. Because for you to answer women, we're celebrating the evolution of the woman from the couldn't do anything outside of what she wanted. Was not even in that concept. And then we got to the 21st century woman, and we can do any and all things we choose. But we forgot to make over. We forgot that there was things still lingering on and lingering in, and our life energy has been sucked into this whole stratosphere. Life energy is really what's in my holding us back. So we need more consciousness to tap new life energy. What's your thought on that?
Well, to answer your question, honestly, I think that the consciousness has to do with wanting to know. A lot of times we know things, but we don't want to deal with it because we don't want to have to deal with it. We run sometimes, a lot of times, we run away from ourselves, and that kind of goes back to what I was saying as far as the pandemic. We've been accustomed and programmed to going and going and going and going and going that we don't have to have a consciousness. We just operate. We just and operate in our routine of things, so we don't have to deal with the reality of things. And so when we don't have to deal with the reality of things, we end up not having to deal with ourselves. And so with the pandemic, it has slowed everybody down where they have to deal with that consciousness of reality and dealing with themselves.
Got it. That's exactly right. A self-destructing way, operating in that doesn't give us makeover in our colors. We just play like children, like Walt Disney did best, have a imagination. You said a lot of powerful things. You shared a lot of powerful concepts. I know the work you do is important, and women cannot continue to think that we don't need the support that you share, the difference of coach, the difference counselor, and why we need both and what they do for us. I appreciated hearing that, because the life that we're now, we've really transmuted as women. But I'm not sure we've transmuted, y'all hear me, in the most powerful we can be. We're focused on our external looks. We're focused on our clothes. We're focused on we're focused on our houses. We're focused on our cars. We're focused on our job. When we go absolutely bonkers about a job, I'm trying to understand it. Always looking for an answer. How can we make ourselves over from the inside and let go of these self-destructing life forces that have placed us in the space we're in? So what, you lose a house? So what? Why is that so devastating? Right? You and me both been there. Why was it so devastating to you? Because of this life-destructing energy force that has taken over our lives.
It was devastating for me.
Lives. Is there anything? Yes. Why was it devastating? Yes, I want you to have that final word with me.
It was devastating to me because at the end of the day, it was something that I had worked so hard for. And it was embarrassing, as the young woman had spoken previously, that embarrassment. It was embarrassing. I had bought my first house when I was 24 years old. And it was super embarrassing to me that I had been in the house for 3 or 4 years prior, married, and then I lost everything. And it was just embarrassing because I know I had worked hard, but it was devastating more or less because I know I had worked very, very hard to get to that point. And I wanted something for myself. I wanted better. And I felt like I had lost in that area. But so that would be it. But I did, I don't know if you said to give the last word, but that was one of the other things, but I did have something to say.
Making you over. One of them has to be an inside job, because here's what I would say.
Say that one more time, Lori.
Okay, you can finish. No, just it's the final few seconds. I'm giving it to you. I was simply just closing out and letting you have that final word to share.
Okay. I said earlier that I was going to give my affirmations later on. So I have 2 affirmations. I actually have these affirmations on. So the first affirmation is the word I'm possible. So that is the word impossible turned possible. So I need you guys to repeat that I'm possible, because that is the word impossible turned possible. And also remember that you are a glow stick, that a glow stick can only serve its purpose when it is broken. And I need you guys to remember that you can only serve your purpose when you've been broken. A glow stick can only glow when it's been broken. So I need y'all to hashtag that glow stick and hashtag I'm possible, because we have to make sure that we affirm ourselves daily. And those are my two hashtags and my two affirmations. And thank you so much again, Lori, for this opportunity. Blessings and favor to you.
Thank you. And to you, cheering for you as you go out in the world, you taking women over, helping her see her greater her from the inside out. I'm cheering for you, okay? You have Tasha Nicole's information. Her website is on the screen. Out to her. And I look forward to all of you win in your new makeover. Girl, you go be great. Our next presenter comes, and she is our final presenter for tonight. I will do tomorrow. And in tomorrow's opportunity, and I call it an opportunity. First, we're going to make sure that there is no lagging. No, I can't make that happen. I have learned a concept transformational international expert, right? In my teaching and the people that I've had an opportunity to be in the presence of and learn from, a lot of ancient clues left in the earth. And one of those is no fixing, no controlling. No fixing, no control. You notice queens, if you go all the way back, ancient times, and you study real queenship, you would notice how they float. I can remember the movie 300. I love that movie. I don't love it for the obvious, the men and all of their stuff. I love I love 300, the movie, for the purpose how the queen just floated through and her power exuded and her life energy changed the trajectory of a whole nation. If we could just and stir a little of that. You're going to have an opportunity to learn from me over those days. I will be Friday teaching for 2 hours, along with you, sacred, and we're going to move into a swanky party. We're going from one place to the next. Make sure you check your emails. You've had several more to come. And make sure you get your stuff, because we're going to be creating a moment. Tonight, we'll have a couple additional speakers, but then we have a very special guest. I want to take you somewhere, and this moment is going to be incredible. Give yourself permission to simply sit and watch this from the sidelines. If you got something showing up, you got the replay. Check your emails, check your texts. But I can assure you we can't fix or control anything. If you've experienced some our side of this the stream, what may be showing up on YouTube and what may didn't have, we got it. We got you. We're going to make sure we do all that we can to ensure a smooth, and I'm talking a powerful, clear presentation. So thank you all. Tonight we get a chance to, with a very, I truly believe, the powerful Deborah Tulay. I call her the powerful because the word THE stands for the definitive. And that's what I believe she is. Definitive in helping women live purpose. We hear it all the time. But I want to turn the floor over. Welcome to the stage. Girls Life Tour, Mr. Deborah Tulay, author and international speaker. Welcome to the
Thank you so much, Lori Pelzer. It is always such a blessing and such an honor to be a part of anything you're doing, because that is just the caliber of leadership that you show, that you possess, that you actually release into the world. So it is my pleasure to be here on tonight and to come behind such phenomenal ladies that have shared so many notes taken tonight, just so much great inspiration and information that is truly sent forth to literally change our lives. And as Lori said before, I'm Deborah Tulay. I am an international speaker. I'm an author. I'm a mom. I'm a glam mom. I'm a domestic violence survivor. And I'm also a breast cancer thriver. And I just feel like it would be a miss tonight if I didn't take just a moment. I'm rocking my pink tonight for breast cancer awareness, because I'm a witness that early detection really saves lives. Because back in 2012, when I was feeling underneath my arm and felt this little small pea-sized lump right underneath my arm, right about there, I had no idea that it was breast cancer. And had it not been for my sister Lisa, that was just so bent and so for making sure that I got where I needed to be, to the doctors, got what I needed, the chemo, the radiation, the surgeries, everything that I needed to make sure that I survived this threat that was threatening my life. And now my sister Lisa, she actually passed away in 2016. But I can say that I sit here today because of her determination to make sure that her baby sister got what she needed to make sure that I would survive this thing called cancer. And as I sit here tonight and I think about that and I relish in that, I also relish in this question tonight. And that question is, girl, how you living? How are you living? You know, if I ask you that question tonight, and if you were able to speak back to me, you know, there's someone on the other end of our broadcast tonight. And what you would say is, you know, I just lost a loved one. Someone else would say, I just lost my job. I just got furloughed. I just got laid off. And someone else would say, you know, I just got over the COVID, or I've been sick. And then somebody else may say, I am just so doggone stressed out. Man, we're living in a time right now when we just don't know what's going to happen. Now, granted, we've never known what was going to happen, if we're honest. But we always felt we had a little bit of control. But now with everything that's going on in the world, we don't know what's going to happen. And that's the same thing that I faced in my life. And I'm going to talk to you tonight about a strategy to begin again. Because once I was diagnosed with breast cancer, you know, I had an epiphany. And God gave me a mantra, and that mantra was life on purpose. So as I'm going through breast cancer, I got this mantra. I'm holding on to Romans 8:28, and that is, you know, that all things work together for good for those that love the Lord and that are called according to his purposes. So I'm holding on to this word for dear life. I'm living and breathing this word as I'm penning the book, Grace for the Journey. I'm penning that book and I'm holding on to that word and I'm getting through there. And God is showing me how life is but a vapor. We can be here one day and totally gone the next, because I cannot tell you how many times I felt like I wasn't going to make it. I can't tell you how many times I felt like I'm not going back to not one more chemotherapy treatment. I can't tell you how many times I wanted to throw in the towel, but God helped me to get through that. And once I got through that, man, I started coaching women about purpose, life, and ministry, helping them to get on track, to walk in their purpose and fulfill their assignment in the earth. And just as life would have it, right when I was on my way, right when I thought things were going to be fine with me, life showed up. Because if anyone had told me that I would, at 55 years old, find myself homeless, divorced, and going through all kind of hell in my life, I wouldn't have believed them. If anybody had told me that I was going to be a broken heap of despair, I wouldn't have believed them. But life sometimes shows up in a way that we couldn't predict and that we did not imagine would happen to us. If that has happened to you in your life, or maybe you're there right now, maybe you can relate that there's some things going on in your life that if anybody had told you, you wouldn't have believed it. You didn't see it coming, and you would not have believed it. And that's why in life, when life happens, we have to make a decision. And that decision is, am I going to cry? Am I going to sigh? Am I going to lay down and die? Or will I begin again? The Bible says a man may fall down 7 times, but every time you fall, you have an opportunity to get up again. And so that's what I want to talk about tonight. I want to talk about, you don't have to stay in a place of despair. You don't have to stay in a place, outside of purpose. You don't have to live beneath your ability and beneath your potential because of what happened to you, what somebody said about you. You don't have to stay there. I'm just gonna. I may hear some background from somebody. I don't know. I just want to say that I do hear something in the background, but I just want to say, for me, I don't know how far you've fallen. My goodness, but I found myself feeling like, I don't know if you've ever heard this saying, that I didn't have a pot to pee in or wanted to throw it out of, and I knew that was not God's plan and purpose for my life. There's so many other people, if you think about it, and even when you read in the Bible, you read in the Word, and you see so many people that fell into some times in their lives when they were in despair and how God brought them out. But even in reality in life, there are people that have fallen. There are people that have lost it all, and God raised them back up. And I'm a believer, and I hope you can connect with me right now, tonight, in this moment, and believe that the same God that did it for them, whether your God is Jehovah God or maybe you serving somebody else, but the same God that did it for them, he can do it for you. He can raise you up again. He can bring you back to a place where you can walk in your potential. You can maximize your gifts, maximize your talents, maximize your ability. But the thing about it is this, man, oh my goodness, I would go to bed at night and it would just seems like, like a blanket of despair or a blanket would just, come and just overshadow me. It was just like almost like a second skin that I was wearing, and I was warring, and I was praying, and I was believing that this would not be my end, that this would not be the end of my story, that God still had more for me to do. And I can remember, going through those surgeries, and some of you may be able to relate. Some things may have happened where you had to have different types of surgeries wherein your body isn't the same anymore. I was married. I had a whole husband, right? So now I'm divorced. A womanizer, narcissistic behavior that I didn't see, early on, but now here I am today. And I got to look myself in the mirror and I got to remind myself that even though I'm not the same with my clothes off, because I have beautiful scars. I'm not going to call them just scars, but they're beautiful scars. They're life-saving scars. But I have to remind myself that in spite of the scars that I see, that I'm still beautiful, that I'm still a jewel, that I still have value. And that's the same thing about you, no matter where you are and what has happened in your life, you have got to know who you are. Woman, you have got to know that you are queen. You got to know your value. You got to pull back. Sometimes, when we peel back the onion, if you've ever cut an onion, sometimes an onion will make you cry. But when you peel back that onion and you do some deep diving, and then you begin to realize there's some things that happen on the outside, but there was also some things that happen on the inside. And so we have to peel back that onion and get deep down on the inside in the crevices of what really makes us who we are, so we can be healed from the inside out. Because oftentimes we're going through life. We're going through life, and we have so many soul wounds and so much childhood trauma that's attached to us that it literally prevents us from being able to walk in life and live life full out. And that's what I do. I help women to get rid of the purpose blockage, the things that are holding you back, the things that have shown up, things you may not even be aware of. My goodness, there was some purpose blockage in my life. There was some soul wounds that I was not even aware of. Some bitter root judgments, that I was not even aware of. But those things have a way of winding and creeping themselves into your life and winding themselves into the fabric of your life and of your thinking. And when you don't know that they're there, but yet they're affecting everything you do and everything you say, Oh my goodness, we need to be delivered from those things. We need to discover those things so we can excavate them so that we can live our lives full out. And that's what I want to help women to do. That's what I believe is my assignment. You know, I have a business that I do, and I kind of had to put that on the back burner. And I told the person that was in partnership with me, I said, I just feel called. I feel called that my focus has to be on empowering women. We got to know what we're called to. Sometimes we're doing so many other things and we're so busy that we're not what we're called to. So I just want to share, as you look at, beginning again, out of the recesses of your pain, just know that you can emerge more powerful, more focused, and more determined than ever before. I want you to know that the pain was necessary. When you think about a woman having a baby, right? Oh my goodness, having a baby in the labor room and got those feet up in the stirrups, and the doctor comes in and the doctor tells her it's time to push. Man, you were in such incredible pain. I don't know how it was for y'all, but my goodness, that's something right there. An incredible, intense pain. But you have to bear that pain, and you have to push with each contraction to push that baby out. And oftentimes the pain that you're feeling, what you're experiencing in your life right now, your feet are up in the stirrups, and I can hear that nurse telling you right now in your ear to push. Your life isn't over. What you're going through right now, the pain you're experiencing, is necessary pain because it's giving birth to something so far greater than what you've experienced this far in your life. And I promise you, my life, I'm more on track today after the heartbreak, after the losing the house and losing the husband and moving out and just changing the whole dynamics of my life. I'm much better now than I was before. Because God has a way of turning your sorrow into joy. He said he would give you the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness. So we let him do the work on the inside of us, and our lives would be better. Better is the end of a thing than the beginning. It's better. It will get better. And I am a faith-based coach. I am a purposepreneur coach. And I help clients to unplug from the emotional, mental, and spiritual purpose blockage that keeps them out of balance and even paralyzed from living their lives on purpose. Now, when we think about this begin again, it's a therapist. Her name is Justine Frokler. And I'm going to read what she says right here. She says that when we start over, we erase parts of our story that make us the woman that we are in our now. We don't want to start over, but begin again. Begin again and learn from our mistakes and our triumphs and emerge confident in who we are ascribed to be. And I want to declare to you tonight that it is your time. It is your season. It's not by accident that you're here tonight. On the Girl It's Your Life Success Tour Digital Experience. It's not a mistake you're here. You're here because there are women that have been sent here to prop you up and to help you to get your footing so you can begin to move out and accomplish what you have been assigned to accomplish in the earth. Because I believe if we get on the right footing and we make up our minds, we are a force to be reckoned with. So it's 2020, and I believe that we're not going to leave 2020 the same way we came in. So many things has happened. So many things has transpired. But if we make up in our minds and if we do the work and really commit ourselves to change, oh my goodness, our lives are going to change. Change is going to occur in your relationships, in your health, in your wealth, in your peace of mind. And I want to challenge you. I want you to pick this moment to be the time that you declare it to be your personal new year. Tonight. Yeah. Right now, tonight. Get what you need. You're going to meet so many incredible people in the next five days. You're going to meet so many incredible people. Connect with the one that you feel that you're led to connect with, because your life is about to change. Your life is not going to stay the way that it's been, but you are going to come out of this 2020 greater than what you went in, because we're not going to allow the thing that hurt us, it didn't kill us, it's going to make us stronger. Now, I want to share these strategies with you, just a couple of things. And you may say, well, this woman keep reading. And I do want to say this, one thing about chemotherapy, it does give you that memory fog thingy going on. And that's one thing I prayed about. And I'm better than I was even with that. I'm just giving God glory tonight, because when I first had the chemotherapy, I couldn't remember nothing. I had to put everything in a certain place, put it back exactly the same place every time, because I would forget. But over the course in time, and the Lord has done a great work in my mind, that I remember a whole lot of things now better than what I used to. But it's still a work in progress. So I'm going to share with you tonight. And I may look down every now and then, but just still a work in progress, right? It's still a work in progress. But to begin again involves the mind, the body, and the spirit. So the mind, how do we start with the mind? The mind. The first thing you have to do, you got to purge your mind. Purge your mind, which means to rid yourself of unwanted thoughts, conditions, or feelings. Everything moves at the speed of a thought. So when you think that thought in your mind and you linger on it long enough, then you give that thought, what's going to happen is you're going to speak that thought, and then you're going to give that thought life. You're going to speak it into life. You're going to give it life. So we got to rid ourselves of all this negative self-chatter, all this stinking thinking, all this self-sabotaging behavior. Instead of affirming ourselves and building ourselves up, we tear ourselves down. We become our worst enemy. One thing Lori Pelzer taught me, many years ago, and she would say, Deborah, be gentle with yourself. Oh my, that was, for me, that was profound. Be gentle with yourself. And sometimes we have to be gentle with ourselves and rid ourselves of all these thoughts that are holding us hostage. That's the first thing in the mind. And the second part in the mind is to accept personal responsibility. Accept the things you've done. Own it. It's okay. You're human. You're human. It's okay. Own it. And because once you own it, then you're able to forgive yourself. Because one thing that James Allen says, and to me this is so powerful, he says that you are today where your thoughts have brought you, and you will be tomorrow where your thoughts take you. So if you change your thinking, then you'll change your life. Your life will not change until you change your thoughts and change what you're thinking on. So it's time tonight for you to change your thoughts, change what you're thinking about, and change your life. So the first thing is the mind. We're talking about the strategy to begin again. The mind, the body, the spirit. So the mind is purging and accepting personal responsibility. Then the second thing is the body. The body. When you look at yourself in the mirror, what do you see? Do you see a beautiful queen? Do you see someone that you look at and you say, girl, you still got it going on? Because if that's not what you're saying to you, then I want to challenge you beginning tonight. When you go in there and take off your makeup and get ready for bed or take your shower, you look yourself in the eye and you remind yourself, you say, girl, you're beautiful. Girl, you're worthy. Girl, you're so intelligent. Girl, you're going to do great things in the world. You got to remind yourself. So the first thing that you have to do with your body is that you have to now come in agreement with what you believe about yourself. Well, what you believe, God has already told you who you are. You got to believe what he says about you. Because one thing about it is this, our body, it reacts to our emotions. So when our emotions is all off kilter and all off whack, then what happens is we become sick, we get disease, and sometimes it even causes death. When our emotions are off kilter, we get so stressed out. We're at the doctor's office, they don't know what's wrong with us. But when we trace it back, we realize that it's because I'm allowing my emotions to consume me and to control me. Your emotions can paralyze you and cause you to harbor a negative self-image and stop you from becoming your authentic self. So what I want to encourage you to do is start an exercise regimen. If it's 5 minutes a day, if it's 15 minutes a day, if it's 30 minutes 3 times a week, start an exercise regimen, because when you exercise, it releases feel-good endorphins in your brain. And it's kind of, what it says, it's kind of like smoking marijuana. I don't know if y'all ever smoked it or not. I did way back in the day, right? Tell the truth, shame the devil. But it releases that in your brain. It releases those natural chemicals that will enhance your sense of well-being. So you want to start moving. It's going to reduce your anxiety, your depression, and your negative moods by building your self-esteem and cognitive function. Exercise has also been found to alleviate symptoms such as low self-esteem and social withdrawals. So start moving your body, start exercising. You can dance, you can walk, you can have a whole lot of sex if you want to. I ain't having none right now, but you can have a whole lot if you marry, right? Have a whole lot of sex with your boo. But man, that's exercise as well. Start small, don't overdo it, but get started moving your body. And another thing about the body is make sure you drink your water. You should be drinking half your body weight in water. Get your water, because that water intake, it flushes out those toxins out of your body. And if you don't drink water, your body knows, because what happens when you drink that water, not only does it hydrate your body just naturally, but even on a cellular level, your cells begin to be hydrated. And so when we begin to be hydrated on a cellular level, it releases those toxins out of our bodies, and we're able to think clearer. We have a different type of vitality and exuberance that we actually have. So you want to drink your water. And last but not least, mind, body, spirit. It's been already said tonight. God has a plan for your life. Before he created you and sent you into the earth realm, I believe God already assigned something specific for you to do. But it's for you to engage with him, find out what it is, so you can begin to walk that thing out in the earth. Purpose is your birthright. Jeremiah 29:11 says the thoughts that God has for you are good and not evil, to give you a future and an expected end. So pray, spend time in prayer, spend time in praise and worship, and allow, that spirit to be built up. And those are my 3 tips for you tonight. And final is this, and I'm going to read this. I thought this was powerful. But what I do know is there's a purpose that's far greater than any of your pain. What I do know is that there is a power in your struggles that's greater than any of your deepest sorrows. Lack and defeat are not your destiny, and the final chapter of your life has not been written yet. That blessing you're waiting for is right around the corner, so don't get discouraged. Get back up on your feet and shine even in your darkest hour. You can begin again. And I want to encourage you tonight, man. I have a special promotion that I want to share with you. I have a free ebook that I'm sharing. It's called Pursuit of Purpose, and I would love for you to get that ebook. Also, we're having a 4-week boot camp that's virtual, and you can go there, and I have a discount just for you. For the next 5 days, you can take advantage of that discount and be a part of our boot camp that's going to be starting in November. Get all that purpose blockage out of your life so you can walk full out in purpose, being the authentic you that you were created to be. I see Lori down there in the lower third, so I'm kind of dancing a little bit because I don't know if I need to keep going, if I need to back up, if I need to keep going. Wow.
Hey there, Deborah Tule. Can you hear me?
Yes, Queen Lori, I hear you, my dear.
Awesome. So we're at the end of the night. We have had such a powerful experience. And what I want each of you to feel in this moment is the tiny little cells. They're at work. After hearing Deborah Tule, after feeling Deborah Tule, after experiencing Deborah Tule, I'm convinced that the tiny little cells that needed to strengthen themselves in this moment have been strengthened. From every conceivable angle, we've had a conscious shift tonight. It's going to get really exciting. It's actually going to go upward. And Deborah, you stepped in like the stars and the planets and the heavens and everything in between to really thrust us into that, what's planned for tomorrow. I sure do want to bring you back. I didn't say surely. I want to bring you back, because the principles that you gave us tonight, these principles were about us accessing power and strength. Would that be correct?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So if we're to do that, if we are to go from within and access the power of the strength that's in us, in these little cells, what's necessary for that? Because there's been a behavior as to the reason we got here in the first place. There's been all this biology in us. There's been, like you said, the trauma, and I believe it's left a remnant. So the conversion of every tiny little cell that will be necessary. And I want y'all to hear this. This is not no mumbo jumbo. We are made up of what, Deborah? You said it earlier.
We are,
Spirit. Go ahead.
yes, we are trichotomy. We are body, soul, and we are spirit. We are three. We are trichotomy, and it makes one whole. And so the all three pieces are actually they're engaged. They're interconnected, and so all three of those areas need to be healthy.
See, like the way that nature works for woman, we have these parts of us. And when those parts are not interconnected, and when those parts are not on task, we engage in something very different than what we can comprehend. Because you said you couldn't comprehend why you would do certain thing and be thinking certain way and doing this the same way and it on and doing it on and on. It's miraculous that you made it out. But I'm discouraged. I'm discouraged because not enough women got to hear this message tonight. So our job has to be, I got to be encouraged to know we got to go out and give her this message, your message. How important do you feel? I want you to do some shameless self-promotion. How important do you see your message in a time like this? We're just not in a pandemic. We are in a full dimensional shift, an evolutionary shift. How important do you believe your message is in this moment?
Lori, I believe that is very important. After all the hell that I just went through, oh my God, and had to come through. But I'm a believer that when you go through something, it's not just for you. It's for you to become now a way shower and show someone else how to get out. So it was intense. It was hard. I'm crying. I'm asking the Lord, why am I feeling this way? What is going on? But I believe some of the weight of some of my sisters, some of the queens that I love, and even those that I don't even know, I believe I was even carrying some of that weight because God is going to use me in this season to help them to come out, to help them to see their way out.
See, here's what I want to go to. Because if we're to see our way out, we have to understand a couple quick things. And I know you can dive in this with me. I know you're ready. I know you over there like we on the line about to score a touchdown. Y'all hear this. And for those of you who are still hanging in there, you're still in the present moment. You don't want to miss this. Number one, secrets are not a secret. They're just a secret to you. Secrets are not a secret. They are a secret to you. There are secrets in the universe, laws of the heavens that will and can thrust you in your power. Consider this your wake up tonight as we close out. Deborah, am I right about that? That the secrets are not secret. They're just secret to us, the women that need to know it. How do we get these secrets? The stuff you have in you, how does that transmute? And how do you transfer that to the woman that needs it tonight? How do she get it from you?
When we come out of hiding, that's one thing, is coming out of hiding. But number two is also for those that need the help to reach for it. You know, the man with the withered hand, when Jesus was in the synagogue and he told the man, he said, stretch forth your hand. The man actually had to stretch forth his hand in order to receive what he needed, which was the healing. And sometimes we don't want to reach out because We don't want nobody to know. I don't want nobody to know that my husband was beating me. I don't want nobody to know that I had to file bankruptcy. I don't want nobody to know what happened with my children. I don't want no. So I got all these secrets that I don't want nobody to know. But the only person that's really being hurt is me. I'm hurting me. I'm inhibiting me. I'm paralyzing myself. I'm laying at the pool of Bethesda, and so I want to get in the water, but yet and still I have all these excuses as to why I won't get up and get in the water. So the thing about it is we got to make a conscious decision, that I'm going to be intentional about getting what I need to get in this season so I can walk out and be who I am supposed to be, show up the way I'm supposed to show up in the earth, because it's only one you. It's only one you. And you want to say to the Lord, God, I don't mind you using somebody else in place of me, but don't do it in spite of me. Don't do it because I refuse to get in position. I refuse to get in place. And so you had to choose somebody else. You want God to use you for the purpose he created you to be and how he created you to show up in the earth.
Deborah, I'm going to let that be your last word, only because I don't want to touch that. I don't want to even try to put a philosophy to that, other than that is exactly what it means and it's exactly what it says. So I want to offer you my most humble thanks. I find you to be an incredible woman in the world. And you know that. A powerful woman. I believe that every form of life within our vision of what we want, whether it's your favorite cat or dog, because I got them, every form of life, we have a purpose in this world. And you came in my life as a purpose. Every one of you hearing my voice tonight, I want you to touch the purpose of Deborah Tooley. She ain't going to play it small. She's about to go out in the world and do some vivid color revealing. Am I right, Deborah?
You're right, Lori. You're right. I'm telling you. Yes, absolutely.
There is no way that she can't go construct a home at this point. Because a builder can't construct a home without first outlining a blueprint, and that's what Deborah has. I love your purpose blueprint. I love who you are. I trust you. And a quick story for everybody to love on, and then I'm going to give y'all some powerful points and nuggets to go home with. It'll be about 3 minutes, and you're going to have an opportunity to take that with you and do something with it. Deborah Tooley once called me because she operates in this space, okay? For those of you who need to be able to use every blade of you, right? Every blade of you is in motion. And she helped me suspend a view of myself. I had a breakdown. I had a moment. I went out there on my social media many years ago, and I shared some views. And the views that I shared were not equivalent to my greatness. And because she operates in purpose, she called me. She didn't discourage me. She demanded me to remove that post. And I discovered something about myself, that I'm scared of Deborah Tooley.
I love you, Lori Pelzer.
Deborah, so how can everyone begin to work with you? What's next, very quickly, and how can they get some? How can they get into the world of Deborah Tooley? Because it's not by accident that the women are here with you at this time and this moment.
Absolutely, yes. You can connect with me on my website, which is dtooleonpurpose.com. You can sign up for the upcoming boot camp that's going to start in November, and we're going to dive in and we're going to do some work. So come ready to work. Right now we have a discount just for those that are attending the conference. For the next 5 days, you can have that $10 saving. The discount code is GIYL. And also for the asking, I have a free Pursuit of Purpose ebook that I had an opportunity to write. I was working with Lori Pelzer, and we were doing an assignment called The Big Idea. Yes. And I was able to create an ebook that's called pursuit of purpose. So I love to get that to you as well. And here you see my, this is a little bit about it, but also my email address. If you want to email me, you can definitely reach out to me at email, and that's just simply debtulay@gmail.com. But I'd love to get those things in your hand and love for you to be a part of the upcoming boot camp.
Deborah Tulay, I want to thank you for being with us. Thank you for every blade of grass you slayed tonight. I've assessed a new level of power in me that I felt only through what you could have shared in that moment. Make sense? I could have not gotten it. I got something. Thank you for depositing it. Thank you. So I'm going to turn over now, and we're going to just close out tonight. I want to share with you that we have found an incredible new way of getting ourselves away from our greatness. We've discovered this whole new way of doing that. But I've discovered a new way for us to get in view of our greatness. And that new way is to stop trying. Because nature's method is that you flow to grow. And so we got to learn the secret of flow. Nature's way is that we touch consciousness from a different lens, that we become familiar with the laws that govern consciousness. Very new concepts for most of us and strange for some of us. The principles, number 3, that we're going to learn in the teachings I'll do in the next days, for some of you will be inconceivable. You'll be like, I can't conceive that in this moment. So you'll need to take the next step, because that moment of certainty, that moment of miraculous, magical moment will require you to take the next step. It's not about you buying something. Because see, we've come into an idea that if I just stay with my head down, if I don't talk too much while I'm in that conference, they won't notice me. You are noticed. I see you. I know you're here. I can feel you. You've been one of the reasons why I can do what I can do, what I can reach out for. Nature's law, by endeavoring nature's law and the laws that govern the universe and the heavens, you convert desire into physical manifestation. Your desires now are not accidental. I want you to write that. Your desires become a true success endeavor. And that's what I want you to hear. Your desires become a true success endeavor. So there's been a conversion of every tiny little cell in you, so small that it may be lost on the points, the buffer of the stream, the lagging, you got to get your message over to the team. I want you to suspend that within you. That view is not the view you should leave with tonight. We're working so behind the scenes. We got this, and we got you. We now have entered into something new because they shifted our room. And so we see something new being conceived just in this moment. Stream should be working like a champ right now. But we don't want the point of my saying that and sharing it with you. It's so strange how when you can get one distraction, one little thing, one tiny cell becomes lost, then the others suspend in its own transformative way, further away from where you're supposed to be. So tomorrow, we're going to drop some really powerful stuff. I want to leave you with 3 more words. Do it now. Do it now. You become successful the moment you start moving toward the now. So tonight, if it's something that you have received, your cells have been opened up. You've accessed some type of power in a complete, conceivable new idea or angle, because you got to conceive it. Then take that now approach. Do it now. It's not too late tonight. Everybody is up. Email, text, do whatever it takes to get to the hem of that garment, to be healed and be whole, to get that sun beating on your face. When you hear my story, the way I'm going to share it with you, the things I have never shared, some things everyone on this live stream who know me, Girl Greatness, may have thought they knew, but I'm going to be sharing things that no one knew. And I'm going to give you concepts around them. Through repetition and approaching your life through principles of repetition, you will fly like a plane, a 740 Boeing. And tomorrow night, we're going to make good progress. We're going to come in here and we're going to do some funky stuff. We got some surprise guests tomorrow night. We got some exercises, some even more video stuff. We're going to be putting out more and more every night. So if you receive some type of clarity, let us know. If you have a desire or a need to reach any one of the speaker partners tonight, let us know. Into the Human Being now reads one thing, the woman. It reads the woman. Every human being is reading through us. All revelation is reading through us in this time. And the physical equivalent to that is miraculous. So I want to thank you tonight for being at the Girl It's Your Life tour. This is night one, but it only is about to get woo, colorful. So look what we got for you. For those of you who have purchased your seat, these are the new Girl Go Be Great stickers. And you get an opportunity to use these anywhere you like. You're going to have your sticker in your bag. You're going to be getting something in the mail. In this bag, mailing, after the event is over next week, we will start, or the week preceding next week, we will start to send out gifts. Woo! I can't wait to tell it to you. The new Girl Go Be Great tote bags. We want you to be able to, not only are they cute, they are sturdy. Look at that. Yes, sturdy. I was throwing all kind of stuff in the bag today. I had to test it out. I wanted new bags for you. I wanted new bags for us. Stickers, all kind of other little goodies that I have yet to reveal. And giveaways. So we're going to do giveaways tomorrow. We have quite a bit of giveaways we're going to do. They're going to be Lori's favorite things. Get ready, get ready, get ready. So we're going to party a little bit too. And we're going to have incredible amounts of information. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow night. Go out there and hashtag GIYL 2020. I want to thank you for everything you deposited tonight with love, understanding, patience, commitment, and most of all, bringing you to the table. Girl Greatness, you go be great. It has been a pleasure serving you tonight. And I look forward to tomorrow night. Good night.